We're getting this one out of the way, lads. All right. I've been seeing some proper dumbass comments being left by people in my community. My community, which means they should be gay. They should get this, but they don't. Might have some straighties in the audience. Couldn't really say. This is definitely a man problem. That's for sure. Whatever the case may be, we're doing it, okay? We're offloading the autism, all right? This is a gigantic autism pressure release valve, all right? That's what we're doing today. And the goal today, okay, is I'm going to see if I can, in even the most marginal sense, help anybody who watches my content with some stuff with regards to clothing. I've already gotten some emails saying like, hey, thanks for doing the fashion arc because it's made me interested in getting some clothes. The fashion shit is so boring. And ban. Not today. We're not dealing with it today. Today is the one day you don't get to complain. It will be nothing but enthusiasm for the subject. You hear that? You can disagree with my taste, but you can't disagree with the concept of me expressing my bad taste on stream. All right. Ooh, we got a lot. Ooh, we got a lot to get into. All right. I want to make it really clear from the get-go. Two big things. First of all, I am, because I know there are some people who are going to say this, not sponsored by any brands that I mention. I can't believe I have to say that, but I do. Secondly, all right, not an expert. In fact, total dipshit. I know nothing. You know the saying, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. What that means is knowing a little bit about a thing makes you overconfident. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. You know, that's me. Okay, I have realized that jeans look good with t-shirts, and now I think I know everything. Really, in all seriousness, I know so little. Okay, this is just, you know, if you like listening to me anyway. I mean, whatever. I talk about this. I talk about another subject. You know, whatever you care to listen to. Is that your field jacket, Vosh? Yes, it is. This is my field jacket, and I like it. The libertarianism of fashion jeans was sure. Exactly. Excuse me. So we're gonna make it happen, folks. Okay, we're gonna see. I'm gonna dump all this together into one place so I can just refer people to it when I want to in the future. Okay, I have no idea how long this is gonna be, but we're starting immediately. Okay, so let's talk about why dressing well can be cool and fun. Okay, so when you dress up, when you dress at all, you're engaging in a form of communication, okay? You are styling yourself in a way that is meant to convey meaning to others. It's the same thing that you do when you get a haircut or when you trim your beard or do literally anything regarding your appearance. If all you were doing was shielding yourself from the elements and indecent exposure charges, then everyone would just wear monk robes everywhere. But obviously, we don't. People dress in certain ways because they're trying to convey certain elements of their appearance and their attitude to others. Even if you think that you only dress casually as a matter of like, that's the easiest thing to put on, you know, I'm willing to bet that at some point you have made a decision that was in some way motivated by an aesthetic sense, you know? You've seen an item of clothing and you thought, that looked nice, you know? Now, I don't support conspicuous consumption as a concept. If a person is buying things just to show off the fact that they bought things and have the money to have bought things, I think that's pretty cringe. However, haircuts cost money, deodorant costs money, beard trimming costs something. You got to get the materials for that. There is wealth tied up in basically all forms of self-expression because that's the world that we live in, you know? But I don't think that's an argument against the concept of self-expression. I don't think it's innately vain or, materialistic or shallow or trite to care about fashion. This is an issue that I used to have, and it's an issue that I have with a lot of the people in my comments who, like, are very disdainful towards the fashion thing. And it seems to be that a lot of people think there's something innately superficial and dumb about fashion. Now, I'm going to open with the hard take here. I think a lot of this is misogyny. I think that one of the biggest things young boys are taught about girls is that they're superficial and obsessed with their appearance and fashion and blah, blah, and that we think of fashion and looking good through clothing as this effeminate thing. So it's superficial for a guy to get into it. This is obviously, at the face of it, stupid. Fashion is not like gendered in that sense. Like, GQ magazine, like, movies, press, male fashion, guys care about how they look. Everyone wants to look good through clothes, right? The question is, how do you do it? And follow up, how do you do it cheaply? Because let's be real here, if you had an infinite amount of money and time, you guys could go to a stylist and they could just recommend outfits for you and you could buy them and it would be really pricey, but that would probably look pretty good in you, In reality, most people can't do that. Most people have to go to the store and make decisions themselves for how they look. And, in that regard, since self-styling is a kind of, artistic engagement with the world, not everyone's an artist. Takes a bit of time to get good at that, to be sort of like effortlessly confident in how you dress, which is not something I am, by the way. That takes some time and knowledge. And I think that a lot of people are intimidated by the time and knowledge it takes, so they would rather withdraw from it entirely and convince themselves that they're smarter than people who care about it. But I think that's bullshit. I really do, I think everyone wants to, speak to the world a little bit with how they present themselves, whether that be the way they style themselves, like hair, beard, the way they gesture when they talk, the way they walk, the way they speak, the literal like intonation of their sentences, or the way they dress. So I think it's valuable for everyone. It's good to be confident. It's good to feel good when you wear clothes. You want to put something on and feel good about it. Look in the mirror. Feel good about how your hair looks, how your beard looks, how your glasses look, and how your clothes look. That's okay, I'm not saying you're always going to nail it 10 out of 10 perfect every time, and you shouldn't obsess over it, but at the very least, it's nice to find, happiness and meaning and some nice stuff you can do to make yourself feel better and communicate to others. Does everyone understand what I'm getting at? I'm just saying right out the bat, anyone who thinks that engaging in fashion or whatever is like bullshit or shallow or feminine or superficial or whatever, not that it's an issue if it's feminine, but you know what I mean. That's cope, mega cope. The world is full of 15-year-old fat boys who are resentful towards others that they can't look good in a t-shirt and they don't know what to do with those feelings, so they pretend and they convince themselves that fashion's actually dumb and gay anyway. And, they're actually like enlightened for not caring about it, Meanwhile, they're like seething and coping whenever somebody walks by looking good. We're not doing this fedora shit, okay? Hopefully everyone gets that. So, I used to be a 15-year-old chubby boy. Me too. Will this only be focused on menswear? Yes, but a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about is universally applicable. I think a lot of it is also rooted in sour grapes because fashion tends to cater to thin people. That is true, and we're going to talk about that now. So, generally speaking, the fatter you are, the harder fashion is. That's true. There are things that can be done to mitigate this. The main issue is that overwhelmingly, like, clothing is sold to us on the basis of, like, you are skinny, wear this skinny guy clothing. And being fat is like a deviation from that. See, way back in the day, and by way back in the day, I mean everything before like 300 years ago, all clothing was custom made. All of it. Because of course it was. How could it not be? If you wanted an item of clothing, you would go to a tailor in your, I don't know, village or city or whatever, and they would measure you and they would make an outfit for you, you would either get it done that way, or if you were a peasant or didn't have much money, it would be like a hand-me-down from your parents or your older siblings. But like fundamentally, the clothing was made for you. Now we have ready-to-wear fashion, which is way more efficient when it comes to clothing lots and lots of people, right? What we have now is garment manufacturers have an understanding of what the average, massive finger quotes on average, by the way, person is shaped like. We have standard measurements, and they can build outfits around mannequins that have those standard measurements. A lot of high-end clothing manufacturers literally make their ready-to-wear clothing based off one guy's body. I forget his name, but he's in New York. It's literally one guy. He's the guy they model it on, And yes, he's a skinny guy. He's a skinny, tall man. Yeah. Now, the problem with this is that in pure economic terms, you want to manufacture garments that fit the greatest number of people possible, right? Like, you don't want to make weirdo sizes that only fit 2 people, because if you're manufacturing those, you're probably not going to make a return on them. There's not really like a monetary incentive to, which means that people without their proportions either have to A, go to a tailor and get it custom made, or B, settle for something that kind of fits but not exactly. You might have noticed, for example, that as you go up in sizes for most clothing, it's more than one measurement changes. For example, if you wear a shirt that's like XXL rather than like XL or whatever, it doesn't just get wider in the stomach, it also gets wider in the shoulders and longer, which might be an issue because if you're just, fat, it might not need to get wider in the shoulders. It might not need to get longer. The clothing gets bigger in every direction. Your stomach is only bigger than the average measurement in one direction. Does that make sense? As a consequence of this, this means that generally speaking, sizing gets more difficult the more you deviate from the average dimensions of a person. Again, huge finger quotes there, okay? Average dimensions here, it's a pretty arbitrary standard. So this is generally the case. However, I've got good news, guys. It is not entirely the case. There are materials that can be worn, styles that can be leaned into, brands that can be shopped from that make it possible, sometimes even easy, to shop as a person with out there proportions. Whether you're very tall, very short, or fat, something can be done. A common example of what people who are fatter will do, especially if you're a guy, is you will lean into thicker fabrics because the fatter you are, the more likely it is you don't want the contours of your body to be a central feature of the clothing you're wearing. T-shirts are thin and cling, so instead they wear things like flannels or sweaters or big bulky long sleeve T-shirts or jackets or hoodies or any other manner of thing that kind of simplify a shape and sort of boil it down into a big stretchy mass that's much easier to shape things around for. I mean, how many people in chat think they would have trouble fitting into a t-shirt perfectly, but like you look just fine wearing a hoodie, right? It's because hoodies are baggy. They're meant to be baggy, You can be pretty fat and wear a hoodie, and the hoodie will look fine. It won't look like misshapen or missized because it's a hoodie. It's meant to stretch and be big, right? Now, that's in terms of wearing different clothes. But there are also manufacturers who make stuff big and tall for people who are fat or very tall or very short, and it is getting easier and easier to find stuff like this. For example, Abercrombie & Fitch, who I really like the t-shirts of, they offer tall versions of their t-shirts, which is good for me. I have a long torso, which means that even though I wear large t-shirts, that basically just brings them just a bit below my navel. So I like the tall option because it allows it to go down a little further. There are manufacturers that will design things specifically for like different kinds of proportions. And with the materials that we wear, it's getting easier and easier to kind of work around differing bodily proportions. The reason I'm saying all of this is because I really don't think that being fat is disqualifying from being drippy. Not even a little bit. Okay? Now, yes, if you are very, very fat, like morbidly obese or something like that, yes, it does get a lot more difficult. That is true. I still think that there are things you can do to look better within that purview, like within that limitation. But yes, obviously, a lot of what I'm saying is kind of based on the assumption that the person listening is, at least within a stone's throw of the standard proportions. I just don't want people to feel discouraged because they're fat, because I used to think like, oh, fashion only works if you're skinny, but that's bullshit. Yes, a lot of fashion is marketed to the skinny, and a lot of runway models are skinny, but that's its own world, man. The idea that bigger people can't look good with clothing, total bullshit. It's just as easy for like a decently thick guy to look drippy as it is for a skinny guy. Seriously, the options are out there, and there are plenty of styles that, in my opinion, actually look better on larger guys, particularly with guys, sort of projecting masculinity, wide shoulders, a broad barrel chest. There are things that you can lean into, Vosh, do you own any big and tall clothes? I think I have a few, but I don't remember which ones specifically. For the most part, my proportions are in the ballpark of fitting to a large or an XL, depending on what exactly I'm doing. So yeah. High fashion is a different world, so that doesn't count for normal people. Correct. High fashion, runway model fashion, has nothing to do with anything we're talking about, okay? Put it out of your head, okay? That is like a very specific environment. That it's a very incestuous environment of like hyper drippy, 6'4", 140-pound models all exchanging clothes for the benefit of a bunch of like wealthy garment district millionaires. That's its own thing, okay? We're not doing this. Okay. Incestual. Well, like it's all like for itself. There are brands specifically for very overweight people. They got plenty of nice stuff. Yes, they do, and we will certainly talk about all that. Do not worry. Okay. So yeah, that's the accessibility portion. Okay. Now, what we're about to do next is probably going to be the most painful part of this stream. But I said I was going to do it, and I want to do it. Okay. I find it difficult to imagine how I could condense all the thoughts and feelings that I have on how this all works and what people should do to feel better in like a categorized way, because there's just so much, right? And I'm not great at organizing my thoughts, even with relatively approachable subjects. For something like this, I would just be like sputtering around. So what I resolved to do is that I was simply going to show off all of the clothes that I've bought over the past 2 months or so. Everything I feel I can say something about anyway. It's going to take a bit, and there's going to be gaps because I'm going to have to get up and get a new item and come back. I'll try to do it in blocks, so, you know, it's like if I have 20 t-shirts, I don't need to show off every t-shirt, right? But that way we can get a feel for the logic of why I got it. That's the thing we're trying to focus on here, okay? Fashion is a kind of art. It's a kind of communication. And like every other kind of art or communication, there is a language that you learn to pick up on that allows you to weave and synthesize information more effectively than if you were just being told everything, you know? Learning math isn't just learning the answer to 10 equations. It's learning how the equations work so you could solve it 1,000 times over. When it comes to political analysis or like, you know, media literacy, it's not about, hey, which sources do you trust? Though that's a part of it. I think the big part of it, however, the most important part is how do you learn whether or not a source is trustworthy? Does that make sense? So to that end, that's how I feel I could do a good job of expressing what I value. You know, I'm not going to put on all the clothing. I'm just going to show it because it would take an ungodly amount of time for me to put on and take off every item. We're not doing that. But it's important. Do you think we'll see high fashion move towards more inclusive shapes as a whole within our lifetime? Maybe, but I don't necessarily know if they need to. And maybe I'll talk about that later. But, you know, excuse me. It seems similar to learning to draw with color theory. Yeah, I would say so. Okay. We got a lot to do. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn on autofocus on this camera so I don't have to worry about being the right distance from it. There we go. All right, guys, let's get started. Nice. Right off the bat, t-shirts from, is the autofocus going to work? Are we going to make that work? Whatever. T-shirts from Abercrombie & Fitch. Really simple. They're like 15 bucks each, okay? I'm not hitting you with that boozy shit right off the bat. So, as you can see, they're t-shirts. We know how t-shirts work, right? Look, I think that when it comes to just buying nice t-shirts, and I mean just regular plain color t-shirts, not like graphic tees or whatever, I think the real thing that you have to be concerned with is that every t-shirt manufacturer shapes their t-shirts a little bit differently. Like, there's always a little bit of variance. Excuse me. There's always a little bit of variance when it comes to like, how does it fit on the shoulders? How long is it? Like, does it cover your navel fully? You know, what are the proportions? How tight is it? That kind of stuff. And really, the best way to know is just go to a few stores and try on a t-shirt. Like, it's the easiest thing in the world to get into. I think the main problem with t-shirts, though, is that most t-shirts are very visually unexceptional. You know? T-shirts on their own aren't that drippy. They're just not. They're such a simple piece of fabric. They're literally just like a kind of loose tube around you with sleeves. You know, it's so simple that there's not much room for expression, which is why usually people will either lean into graphic tees as a way of having a bit of color and visual flair when paired with jeans or whatever. And that's fine. That's great, you know? Or the t-shirt will just be a color block that is used alongside other items of clothing. That's what I'm doing right now, of course. In what I'm wearing right now, the only thing the t-shirt does, really, is serve as a simple color block that breaks up what would otherwise be just solid brown over blue jeans. It's really that simple. On its own, the t-shirt that I'm wearing would look fine, to be sure, but generally I think t-shirts are good as an accompaniment to something else, like a jacket. If you're just going to wear a t-shirt and jeans, that's also totally fine, but I think that, for the most part, if you're wearing a t-shirt and jeans or a t-shirt and shorts or whatever else, the t-shirt on its own very rarely carries much visual weight, and I usually think it would be better to either accompany it with something else, like a light jacket, a cardigan, anything like that, really. Or, you know, to have, rather than a t-shirt, a short sleeve button-up shirt, like a Hawaiian shirt. How is this not capitalism? Please explain. When you buy the clothes from the store, it is the capitalism. Of course, I wove all these clothing items myself. You know, I have a loom, so I constructed them in a most socialist fashion. So that's how you should make all of your clothing. You know, that's the right way to do it. Now, I want to know with regards to t-shirts, I feel like oftentimes people make a huge mistake here. Okay, first of all, if you're fat, there is a very high likelihood that t-shirts will not look the way on you that you want them to by default. The reason for that is because t-shirts are thin and often quite cheaply made, and they just sort of cling to your body in an ill-fitting manner. I think that oftentimes people will also wear t-shirts that are just too tight for them, you know, because there's a big trend right now for, you know, like having the slim silhouette, you know, like your t-shirt perfectly molds to your body or whatever. I literally, I think if you look up like t-shirt, what is Temu often? Yeah, shit like this, okay? First of all, never trust any item of clothing that costs $3, but oftentimes when I see t-shirts advertised, they look like this. This is not advertising a t-shirt. This is advertising the fantasy of being slim. Raise your hand if you've seen t-shirt advertisements that look like this, where it's like tightly conformed to some mannequin, and it's like, oh yeah, this is how it'll look on you, you know? Bullshit. If you have an athletic body, like a lot of clothing, even simple clothing like t-shirts, will look good by virtue of the fact that it accentuates your body. But stuff like this is advertising the fantasy of having that body, not the t-shirt itself. You understand, right? Right. Okay. Now hold on. I got a few items this time. Take a look at this. Look, it's all of the stuff from my comfy bottoms drawer, you know? Also what I name people when I meet them off Grindr. Look. Joggers, sweatpants, and then shorts, you know? So, there you go. All your clothes look so soft. I mean, I do like comfy clothes, you know? I don't want to wear anything that's uncomfortable. Do you guys like joggers very much? Wait, 1 second. Hold on. What's up?
What?
What's up?
I'm not talking to you.
Oh, but you said mean after I said I'm busy, which I am.
Yeah, but mean.
What's
You know
up?
You're busy. We weren't talking to you.
What's up?
Nothing.
You were talking to me. Oh my god.
How would you do it? I'm busy.
Oh, okay. Just being annoying. I can't do joggers. There are like a million different kinds of joggers, but generally speaking, they're like comfortable, relaxed pants that tend to be tight around the ankle. So you get this, it's very big in streetwear. You have like a kind of billowy, sometimes more of a cargo pants vibe to the upper part of the pants, and then it tapers off right at the ankles. I'd look silly in those. I think that this is one of those items where you have to have a kind of vision going into it, and that vision in a lot of cases is literally just streetwear. Like, there are so many different ways to dress, and I don't think you should go into a store thinking, what genre should I dress in? But rather, can I build modular pieces that will work together sort of interchangeably within a broader set of outfits? Joggers are comfortable, and they're called joggers because they're good for athletic wear, you know? Because the taper at the ankle means you can run without worrying about it getting caught underneath the shoes. So that's nice. Yeah, there are also these more, I guess, what would be cargo joggers? Look at this. I think these look quite nice, by the way. Available from Walmart, apparently. That sounds nice. I guess when I think of like, how do you present yourself, or like what items do you want to buy? It's like, I think the best thing that you can do is you can go to the store and get a collection of items that are so ubiquitous and uniformly useful that you could pair other things with them. Once you have a collection of t-shirts or long sleeve t-shirts or whatever else, like basic stuff like that, then you get a very different vibe between wearing, say, joggers versus sweatpants versus shorts versus whatever else, you know? Another thing only fit people can wear? Not true. Joggers look pretty good across a broad range of body types. And a big reason for that is because they're deliberately baggy. This particular brand goes up to 9XL, according to the internet. That's pretty interesting, huh? Now, again, there's such a trend these days with like skinny fit clothing where it's like everything has to perfectly hug the contours of your body. That's bullshit. But there is a critical difference between clothing that looks ill-fitting and clothing that looks deliberately baggy or oversized. It's the difference between wearing a t-shirt that is too big for you and a t-shirt that is an oversized t-shirt, you know? Let me find an example of that. This difference is really important to get down because it teaches you the difference, I think, between what is ill-fitting in the right way and what is ill-fitting in the wrong way. Now, of course, there is no right or wrong way, like objectively. It's more what feels good. This is from Levi's. It's an oversized t-shirt. And one thing that you might notice is that he looks pretty good. And what's interesting is that even though he very clearly is skinny, you can see his forearm veins, this guy could wear a tight t-shirt that would accentuate his physique and look good. He's not doing that here. This t-shirt, this oversized t-shirt, could be easily worn by a plus-sized model in a way that would look pretty indistinguishable from how it looks here. And this is one of the reasons why it's so important, I think, to break free of the recent fashion obsession with everything being skinny fit and everything being like stretchy and everything perfectly conforming to your physique. That's all bullshit, okay? There are trends that cycle in between like baggy and skinny, but good form and good shape and good silhouettes stay valuable in between trends. Does that make sense? So yeah, if you're a little bit fatter, I recommend looking into oversized t-shirts because oversized t-shirts look good even if you're larger. That's the point. And oversized t-shirts also tend to have a thicker material, which means that the clothing drapes in the front a lot more pleasantly. See here, notice how the fold that runs from the shoulder down to here, or just the general like front of the t-shirt, it's like a solid pane of cotton, you know? It's nice and simple and pleasant, and it looks like it works. Let me give a few more examples of joggers while I'm sort of on the subject. Again, you'll notice a trend with the pants that I'm going to show. That trend being that they look quite good on skinny models, but they're oversized to the point where they could work for larger people too. Let me see if I can find a very out there example. Here we go. I would say this person is pretty fat, just judging from the little bit of image that I am seeing here, and I still think that this looks pretty goddamn good. Let me see if I can find a better example. I think that there are options available to fatter people, but I do not deny the fact that finding them takes a bit more work, especially since like Google Images barely even gives you anything to look at when you look up fat or plus size with an item. Last one I'll show. Hopefully it's understandable how stuff like this will fit pretty well, even if you're a bit overweight or fairly overweight. just in large part because the way the silhouette is supposed to fit in your body accentuates. If anything, it sort of has like a slimming effect because it always tapers to the ankles, and your ankles will always be pretty skinny, even if you're fat. You know, they're ankles. Great color too. Yeah, I think it's nice looking. I think it's pretty all right. So yeah, I like joggers for that reason. I think that they are a very accessible and nice, generally useful, like streetwear adjacent item, and also it's good for doing athletic stuff. Not that I do that. These are sweatpants. I take it to be comprehensible to all of you why wearing sweatpants can be nice, because they're sweatpants. I have a few of those. These are shorts. I've worn these like a million times on stream. They're very comfy. I think that when it comes to buying shorts, there's actually some really important distinctions when it comes to what type of shorts there are. Hold on. Doop. Doop. There we go. So when it comes to like wearing shorts, all right, I feel like wearing shorts, I'm going to ban people who distract me. Benjamin, that includes you. When it comes to, where'd you get your comfy black shorts? Nordstrom, I think. But like they're cotton shorts. You can get them literally anywhere. When it comes to shorts, you can take this in a variety of directions. I think a big frequency interference on your audio. Are you the only one complaining about it, or are other people complaining about it? I only see you complaining about it. Stop complaining about it. So when it comes to wearing shorts, I think a problem is that, men wearing shorts, pictures, fashion. Sure, there we go. I think a big issue with shorts wearing is that there seems to be like this really hard line in the concept of guys wearing shorts, where most guys look really schlubby wearing shorts, and then you blink, and then there's this like community of male fashion advice dudes who look really good and kind of in many cases kind of douchey wearing shorts. And the question is like, well, wait, what happened? You know, it's like you associate shorts with like cargo shorts and like Zelda t-shirts for a while, and then it's like, how do I look good wearing shorts? And you Google it and you see dudes like this, and it's like, okay, I don't know how helpful this is for me, you know? Like, I'm not saying he looks bad. I think he looks good, I guess. But I don't know how helpful this is to me with regards to style. And I think the big issue there, or like what you're supposed to pretty drippy TBF. Yeah, for sure. Shorts are challenging, but cargo shorts are so useful. There's nothing wrong with cargo shorts. Here, look, hold on. Men's fashion cargo shorts. Let me see if I can find a nice, like, there's a lot of silly images that you find when you look up stuff like that. Man, a lot of these are like, you know, we'll go with this. This guy looks good. So let's examine why he looks good, right? What about this fit looks good? Whereas if you look up images of men in cargo shorts, or just you imagine yourself wearing cargo shorts, it tends not to look that good, okay? I'm going to lay out some general rules here, and I hope people understand where I'm coming from, okay? One of the big issues with guys wearing shorts is that thanks to the modern obsession with everything being skinny and tapered, they taper the leg of the shorts. And what that does is create this god-awful silhouette whenever you raise your leg like this. See? And as a consequence of this, you get this like this inseam where you pull up and taper the leg every time you move your leg, and it gives you this weird like hobbled like it looks like it's a straight leg from like this, but then if you move around in it, it's like it's pulling from here rather than from the actual, you know, it's I don't have the language to describe fully like the problem with this. The thing that looks really good here is the straight leg continues forward and it creates a clean silhouette. A big part of looking good in an outfit is just learning how to effectively construct a silhouette. This is easier if you're skinny, but it's not impossible to manage if you're plus sized. Ideally, if there was to be like a shadow portrait of your body, like it was blacked out, you could only see the silhouette, and you don't see any color or wrinkles or texture or anything like that, you would still have a pretty recognizable or at least striking silhouette, something that's pleasing to look at. You ever seen that thing online? People do this on Twitter a lot, where it's like, you know that a character design is good if you can recognize it purely from the silhouette. Have you seen that? That like meme? There is a truth to that, though it's oversimplified for comedic purposes in a lot of cases. Yeah, like Pokemon. Yeah, Pokemon silhouettes or whatever. I think the issue ultimately is that a lot of guys struggle. Let me see if I can find a non-fashion image. Hold on. Guy in cargo shorts, fashion fail. Something perhaps a little bit more candid. Why am I seeing so many AI generated images? That sucks. Dude, Google image search is so cooked these days. So annoying. What is this article? If you want to date, you guys need to ditch these fashion fails. Cargo shorts, they're dumpy and dorky, silly and bulky, way too long, usually falling so far past the knees that grown men end up looking as if they have short little elf legs. This article sucks, and you could ignore it. Don't worry, guys. I'm giving all of you permission to completely ignore this article, all right? You don't need to worry about that, okay? Cargo shorts can look good. You just need to know how to build them to your body properly. As always, the best way to figure out how to wear any item of clothing, literally anything, is just wear a basic outfit and then go clothes shopping, pull off like a half dozen items that are of very slightly different builds and fits and sizes and shapes. Go to the dressing room and just try them on, you know? It really is that simple. Yahoo image search is unironically a lot better than Google these days in my experience. Maybe, yeah. What else are they complaining about here? Athletic shorts as casual wear? Okay, this is just, guys, never listen to straight women when it comes to fashion, ever. They literally like men. They have no taste, okay? Yeah. That writer thinks they're being a fun, bitchy gay when they're just being a cunt. Yeah, exactly. And no respect whatsoever, okay? So when it comes to different types of shorts, there's a million, right? When I think of like, what can I do, or what do I think of to make shorts look nice, you know? Like what direction can you take them in, you know? I think, in my opinion, it's about forming a pleasing silhouette with the other items that you're wearing, right? So for example, poofy shorts can often look good with big oversized shirts. Let me see if I can find an example of this. Men's streetwear, fashion, oversized shirt and shorts. Everyone be wearing the skinny black pants, man. Here we go. Perfect. I think this looks really, really good. It doesn't look that impressive, and it's meant to be a casual outfit. It's literally shorts and a t-shirt. But I like, and I think it's quite pleasing, how there is a consistent silhouette that runs down to right above the knee. You take a look at this and it's like, okay, yeah, it's a t-shirt and shorts, but it looks cohesive, and for that reason, it doesn't look that bad. It's not going to be like a groundbreaking or mind-blowing outfit, but it works, you know? Here's an even better example, because you have a nice bit of color cohesion as well. See? We have a nice clean silhouette. Now, interestingly, the reasons why an oversized t-shirt and shorts look good are the same reason why an oversized t-shirt and skinny jeans look good. Because in both cases, you have a large upper body item that suddenly breaks into the skinny leg, right? If you're wearing like skinny jeans or whatever, the big t-shirt ends here, and then you have the skinny leg, right? If you're wearing the shorts, then the bigger silhouette ends here right above the knee, and it continues skinny from there. In both cases, it's really just about creating an appealing shape. Does that make sense? That's called the Billie Eilish principle. If only I knew anything about Billie Eilish to make or contest that statement, you know? Now, here's an example of what I would consider to be a grievously ugly outfit. This is from the workout shirt short sleeve Walmart line or whatever. I think the reason this doesn't work that well is because there's nothing wrong with the shirt necessarily, but the shirt comes down so long that the shorts now become an unnecessary element. See? The shirt ending right here at about the same breakpoint as the shorts basically means that the shorts kind of look like, I don't know, another shirt layered underneath it. Do you understand how by having these two be so close together, you create a redundancy in the silhouette that looks like you should have either just like had a less long t-shirt, or you should have the shorts come down further, or you should have gone with black pants, because then you wouldn't have this weird stripe. Can you give a breakdown of what makes a pleasing silhouette? I mean, the logic behind that is really complicated and difficult to get into, but I think a lot of it has to do with drape, it has to do with fold, and it has to do with sort of acceptable levels of give. So I think this looks pretty good. This is not a style that I would wear. However, it looks cohesive and I know what's going on here. You have the same basic logic. Oversized t-shirt, in this case, a sort of layered long sleeve. I don't know what exactly this is, you know. Then you have about the same sort of width that breaks right here. And then you have, you know, the skinny leg. It makes sense. This outfit makes sense to look at. Hate the shorts? I don't like the shorts either. But it's not my style, you know? Lots of good examples of this. Here we go. I think this looks quite nice. This is just from a top-down angle, too. Look at that. This guy, again, wearing a very, very oversized t-shirt, carrying some kind of bag behind him that's sort of crimping the fabric, but it looks simple. It looks cohesive. I think that this person, even in this state, is better dressed than most of the guys I see walking around. It's easy to judge from a distance, but I think it's important to understand that even getting the folds to look this nice, you know, you had to know what you were buying, and I respect it. Wasn't I supposed to be talking about shorts? I don't know if you are skinny, you should get a tighter t-shirt. No, never fall into that line of thinking. Because if you think, oh, they're skinny, they should wear tighter clothes, what you're really saying is the clothing should be there to accentuate the physique. And that's what makes fashion exclusionary to fat people. Fashion, the clothing, is about the clothing. You know, your body is the mold, it's the canvas. But at the end of the day, what matters is what you paint on it, you know? If a skinny person wearing big oversized outfits, in my opinion, is based in red pilled, you know? And you can go that direction with a bunch of different types of shorts and shirts. But again, it's about thinking of form. It's about thinking of silhouette, you know? Slim fit is appropriate. I've been skinny for 35 years. No. See, that's the thing you have to internalize. Every fit is appropriate as long as it produces a good form and silhouette on you. As long as the fit that you're wearing is... So first of all, it has to fit, like literally fit on your body, obviously. It has to be comfortable. And then it's about the drape of the fabric. It's about the shape that it forms on your body and how sort of pleasantly that works with what you're building. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because this is what a lot of people fuck up with shorts. A lot of guys will just put on a t-shirt and they'll put on a pair of shorts, and there isn't really a cohesion there. There's not like a line between them that works. This is one of the reasons why if you look up fashion, men, shorts, you get so many images where, well, okay, let's go through it, huh? Let's talk about it. Let me find a nice set of sample images. Here we go. This is from Paris Fashion Week, so this is a bit high-end as, you know, sort of fashion inspo goes. Definitely more than what most people would do when they're dressing up. But you can see the same basic principles applied when wearing this, you know? Like, you can understand the logic. Does that make sense? In terms of, like, what kind of silhouette are they trying to produce? What kind of body structure, what kind of folds or, like, sizing are they trying to produce? Are they trying to contrast things where you have one item that's really baggy and one item that's really stiff? Or are they going the other direction? Or are they trying to sort of, you know, pair it together and make it all work? I like Guy too. I think that there are virtues to all these outfits to an extent. But, you know, it's really just about looking and seeing what's being done right. Over here on the left side, you know, one of the things that I noticed looking at this, apart from the nice consistent silhouette, is the consistent wrinklage between these jean pants and the shirt that's being worn. It actually looks quite pleasant, almost like their entire body is a nice, you know, body of water where waves are breaking across or whatever. I think that's nice, you know? In this case, the shorts are pretty much pure black, which means they don't take energy or attention away from the pattern, stripe, and weird fit of the shirt that he's wearing up here. Over here, this guy in the middle literally just looks like a dude. You know, this is literally like a guy. Look, if somebody dressed like this can be in the center photo of a men's Paris Fashion Week article, that's your indication, guys, okay? This is doable, all right? The thing that I like really quite a lot about the this guy over here is the fact that both his shirt and his shorts are doing this flare out thing. Does that make sense? See how the shorts that he's wearing look better than if he was wearing these ones, because these ones taper in more, you know? So if he was wearing one that tapered in, you would have a shirt that folds out and then shorts that taper in, and it would create this kind of like sort of lump in the middle. Whereas here, there's a very deliberate drape that's consistent on both the shirt and the shorts. Again, I'm kind of rambling about this, but the reason I'm doing that is because I want to make it clear that like the things you should be looking for when buying items of clothing are primarily like, how do I make this work from a color sense, in a fashion, or sorry, like in a pattern sense, and how do you build a good silhouette? You know what I mean? And that's it. Like, that's the fundamental right there. Making sure it just looks and folds and sits nicely and the colors and patterns work together. And that's it, you know? It's actually really, really fucking simple. I overthought it a bunch. I used to overthink it even more. It's genuinely, honestly, sincerely, really, really, really simple, you know? Whatever pattern or style or whatever else you're going for, it's very doable. It's all very approachable, you know? It's very manageable if you have I guess like a willingness to take the time to try stuff on, you know? Thoughts on men wearing baseball caps? Fuck it. Yeah, go for it. Hell yeah. Absolutely. When are you going to cover cuts of jeans? That's going to be a struggle. Nah, it's easy. Okay. Just, what's your opinion on flannel? I'll get that. Don't worry. How do I want to... I'm trying to think. Do you think anyone can wear a particular style and a particular style, or is confidence of what you're wearing the main thing? I think that basically anyone can pull off basically any style, with very few exceptions. There are some types of styles and some types of clothing that are just innately built towards skinnier people, but I think those are very far and few between. I think for the most part, most things are accessible, and it's about what you want to wear. It's about communication and style, you know? That's why you should ignore all the like stupid, trendy bullshit fashion articles that'll tell you this is in, this is out, never wear this, never do this. It's like art, you know? You learn the rules so you can learn to break them, you know? Once you get good enough at understanding the way a form of communication works, you can learn how to break it. It's exactly like this with communication, like regular human word communication. You learn the rules of English, and then when you know English and you speak it fluently, you can start breaking English. You can start introducing slang. You can start talking in unconventional ways, or deliberately like fucking with the structure of your sentences to convey meaning. The more you know about something, the more you know how you can effectively and intelligently break it. And fashion works exactly the same way, but it takes an open mind and curiosity, and I think it takes, I guess, an understanding of the underlying patterns that you're supposed to be going for, like the underlying systems, which I think for the most part when it comes to fashion are things like texture, color, and silhouette. Those are the big ones. Obviously, it should also fit. It should be comfortable, you know, like the clothing should fit, literally fit, physically fit on your body, and should be comfortable. But, you know, in terms of style, Vosh, how do you start caring about your fashion? Because honestly, I just want my clothes to be comfortable, but I know how you dress matters so much in the real world. I gotta say, that's true. Yeah, there is a lot of social utility in learning to dress well. But in terms of like, look, you don't have to use big fancy $5 words. You know, if you wanted to, you could convey basically all the meaning you needed to with very simple language. You learn to talk more eloquently because it helps with self-expression. There's utility in that, and it makes you feel good to be able to do it. Clothing can be the same, you know? It's another style, it's another form of communication where if you learn more and you engage with it more, you can do interesting things, and maybe those interesting things make you feel good. As for what makes you interested in it to begin with, I think the first thing that you could do in that vein is just learn to feel good with and be confident with a few outfits. Get a couple of nice t-shirts, some nice high quality t-shirts, you know, that fit you well. Try them on, make sure they fit well. Get those. Get like a pair of pants and a pair of shorts and maybe one button up or whatever you want to, you know? And you try those on, and if you feel kind of good when you're wearing them, if you feel okay, if you feel like there's something there, that might give you the confidence and the motivation to pursue that line of thinking further. And if not, and it's not your thing, that's also fine. I'm not arguing everyone has to care about fashion. I'm just saying that, you know, I think in a lot of cases it's I think it feels good. I feel like I should start at a more realistic place like showering daily. Yes, that would also be good. I think that the reason why I'm opening with something as simple as like the t-shirt and the short is because the only way to look good with t-shirts and shorts is to understand how to put them together. If you're buying something like a nice expensive coat, that coat will just look sick on its own. Like, that's the whole point. A big, expensive item of clothing will, if it fits well, like, will look good just by virtue of it being a nice, interesting item of clothing, you know? Like, the jacket that I'm wearing isn't super expensive, but this on its own looks nice. It just looks nice because it's a jacket. You know, jackets are meant to look nice. They're heavier items of clothing that have more going on visually. They accentuate more. They indicate more, you know? So it doesn't take as much, I guess, awareness and knowledge to make someone look good in that. It's the same reason why people almost always look good when they're wearing, like, I don't know, a suit. Because as long as the suit fits properly, like literally fits their body, suits are complicated, heavy, three-dimensional pieces of clothing that are layered, which allows them to build out their own form. They have enough going on that they're interesting to look at just by virtue of being suits, you know? But with a t-shirt and shorts, you have to think a little bit more, huh? It takes a little bit more effort to zhuzh up something like that, you know? You have to be a little bit more aware of form and what have you. For me personally, a big thing that I came to care about when it comes to shorts and the way they should fit and the way they should look is, I think that cotton shorts, which are very soft and comfy, and I wear them all the time on stream, look really, really good with streetwear stuff because the cotton tends to flow nicely with and match the texture of a big oversized t-shirt. I think that's nice. If you wear a big poofy, like, pair of cotton shorts and you've got like just a nice soft billowing t-shirt over it, that's just a cohesive look that's kind of honestly hard to fuck up as long as everything fits decently well. And on the other side of things, there are linen shorts, and I own 3 pairs of linen shorts. And the nice thing about these is, as you can see, they have texture. And the texture of linen gives these a kind of beachy summer complexity that means they work a lot better, not with a t-shirt, but with like a Hawaiian shirt or a short sleeve button-up, or even a long sleeve button-up that's casual that you've sort of rolled the sleeves up on. Can you see how just looking at the fabric, this has a different feel to it and works differently with different items than cotton shorts? But ironing, you don't have to iron like linen shorts, you know? Looks like it would feel rough. Nah, it's crazy soft, don't worry. Linen has a pretty irregular weave visually, but it's very comfy. In fact, I can give you an example. You can tell from the material that these are athletic shorts right here. Men's fashion linen shorts. Let's take a look at this. Whoa, that's interesting. Why is it that when you look up linen shorts, all of a sudden the kinds of models and what they're wearing get really, really, really different? Here we go. So here's a guy wearing, I think that's a cotton shirt, not a linen shirt. Linen shorts and a cotton shirt. It could be linen, hard to tell. Notice how instantly the vibe is very different. We're no longer in streetwear territory, are we? You know? Now we're in like oh, this guy wears loafers to the beach and he's wearing he owns a yacht or whatever. Even in examples where people are wearing a t-shirt with their linen shorts like this, you see how they convey a very different attitude? Isn't linen made of cotton? Yes, it's a... Wait, is it? No, it's not. That's a different thing. Yeah, no, linen and cotton are different. Yeah. Fucking confusing me. Denim is made of cotton. Also, but basically everything is made of cotton anyway. Also, Vosh, do you use tailors at all? Like, no. Except for like hemming pants, I guess. What was the point that I was trying to make? Oh yeah, that the material that you're using can be very different. Again, shorts and t-shirts, in my opinion, are really complicated to make look good because they are so simple and dressed down that they you have to put in more work to make them look good. You know what I mean? Oh, this is a terrible audience for all this, but that's fine. I'm getting it out of my system today. I'm putting these back. We're nowhere near done. What about oversized hoodies and comfy shorts / skirts? I like them around the house because they're fun. You're not asking me about fashion here. You're asking me to validate your comfy clothing choices. If you wear something for comfort, that's fine. You think I walk around all the time in my house looking like this? Now we're gonna talk. It's time to talk about the real shit. Are you ready? It's time to talk about pants. Okay? Now, here's the problem with pants, okay? The problem with pants is that the style for the past 15 years has been trending further and further, though we're starting to get away from it now, towards skinny jean bullshit, okay? Now, here's the thing, all right? Very much like an overly tight t-shirt, the only thing that skinny pants are really selling to the people around you is the exact and specific shape of your thigh. Like, that's it, okay? It's not impossible to make them look good. Like, there's not no fashion value there. But skinny jeans, skinny pants, whatever the fuck you're wearing, I don't think they convey anywhere near as much, like fashion or fit-wise, as a lot of people seem to think. I think a lot of people are just flexing the fact that they're skinny. They're practically wearing, like, leggings as a chick, you know? Also, they're inaccessible to a lot of people. A lot of people are not so skinny that they can fit into skinny jeans because skinny jeans are built for the proportions of a skinny person. You can't just upsize skinny jeans and make them still work. You know, past a point, you're wearing fat jeans, and that's very, very different fashion-wise, okay? Men's pants fit. Okay? Like I said before, the main thing that you're looking to do when it comes to making a piece of clothing fit is you want to look at the silhouette, the way it drapes, the way it looks when it moves, like what shape you're going for, okay? And to that extent, all right, jeans fit explained. We're going to talk about jean fits. Okay. Are you ready? What site are we going for here? Denim Hunters? These sites are almost always terrible because they don't have pictures. They don't have visuals to explain. Here we go. We're going with GQ. You know, GQ actually has a lot of really good and just, like, approachable menswear articles. Like, you know, not like high fashion stuff or whatever, but just normal, decent stuff. Here we go. All right. Today we're going to learn, and we're going to start with jeans, okay? Listen, if you... Vosh isn't speaking about trans or non-binary fashion. Neither are you now for the next 6 hours. Shut up. Anyway, what was I saying? Totally lost my train of thought there because I had to remember that trans and non-binary people exist. That's right, pants cut. Okay, it took me forever to learn how this works, okay? When I was growing up, I hated shopping for pants because wearing pants that don't fit even by a little bit is uncomfortable, and it's like rubs up your thigh when you're putting it on, then you have to take it off, and it takes a lot of time. It's not like trying on shirts or jackets, pain in the ass, okay? And then eventually you get old enough that you learn what your waist size is, but then you don't even know how long this is supposed to be, and you don't even know about the specific fit. So you're like trying stuff on, it kind of fits around the waist, but it's like whatever, down from the leg, and it folds weird, and it's uncomfortable, and it bunches up around your feet, and you don't know what's going on. Okay, all right? It's time to learn. Okay? Straight leg, jeans, pants, whatever else, is when the leg is straight. Classic, fantastic, easy, simple, approachable. You can find this anywhere. If you're more on the fat side, this can still look good because sizing up the waist will size up the leg, will size up the lower leg, thus keeping a relatively straight fit. This fit is literally timeless, okay? It doesn't matter whether or not the style is towards baggy or towards skinny. This always looks good, okay? You understand? Makes sense? Great. Looks good. 250 Pepe hands. It's a GQ article. Follow the fucking logic, okay? Here's your poor people pants. Levi's 501 original fit jeans. By the way, only the brand that invented jeans, by the way. Sorry you have to go with this instead of the more expensive option. Boring for a lot of us. Here's the thing, okay? I'm going to be a bit mean to you. If you think straight leg fit is boring, I think you're brain dead. That sounds like a take from somebody who doesn't know much about fashion or fit, but does know that they like how, I don't know, emo band members look with their skinny jeans or whatever. Like, you have like an aesthetic. You can't find straight leg boring. Saying you find straight leg boring is like saying you find it like a regular size t-shirt boring. You're criticizing something that's so foundational that it doesn't even make sense. You can make whatever look good, you know? Legitimately, what does straight leg mean? The line goes straight down, leg, down the leg, straight leg, straight leg. Now here we have straight taper. Straight taper means that at around the knee, they taper more than a straight leg. The purpose of this is so you have a more narrow ankle right down here. What is this useful for? Well, different kinds of pants look different levels of good and cohesive with different sizes of shoes. If you're wearing pants that go all the way down to your feet, sometimes you want them to bunch and bag and be as wide as the feet, sometimes you don't. When people are wearing skinnier shoes, like say these small boots or some loafers or slippers or whatever else, they almost always have tapered leg fits, you know? Slim straight. Whoa, slim straight. Look at that. Whoa, look at that. So it's a slim jean that tapers. Oh, sorry, that doesn't taper. That stays straight. So you have for a skinnier person. Wow, it goes straight down. That's crazy. Then we have boot cut, wider at the bottom to fit boots. Very specific thing, but some people like it. Relaxed straight, okay? This is also called athletic. Relaxed and athletic mean the same thing. This is what you want to go for if you're fatter. This is what matters, okay? Relaxed and athletic pants are much wider at the thigh, okay? So if you're a bigger person, it's likely that these will fit a lot better than other options. These are relaxed straight. There's also relaxed taper. Guys, I wear relaxed taper most of the time. I've got a big butt. I've got big thighs, but I'm not really that fat, so I don't want it to just be, you know, billowing all over. I have it tapered down to a smaller ankle. See how this guy right here doesn't look super fat? Notice how there's more room in the thigh? This guy's probably pretty built. You can't tell underneath the clothing. This extra room over here is to give him a bit more room for his leg meat. It's good, no? And then you have wide leg. Wide leg pants, by the way, are based as hell, all right? I would consider this to be more of like a fashion thing, you know? But if you know what you're doing, again, it's about building a nice silhouette. See? Good silhouette in this guy over here. Very nice. There's also a nice bit of fashion incohesiveness because he looks like he's dressed all conservatively from the top up, and then he has these gigantic pants. I think it's pretty based. Good example of relaxed taper. Thank you. Very nice. And a band for you. 6 hours for anyone who distracts. We've got a lot to do today, and I'm not here for it. He looks pretty smooth. Yes, he does. The best kind of wide leg? Yes, bell bottoms. Nice meme. You posted this 3 minutes ago. There you go, Thana. What makes distraction different from what we do normally? It doesn't. Anyway, none of these fits innately on their own are good or bad. You might notice that none of these were skinny jeans. You understand? Skinny jeans are a different kind of thing than just like a slim fit pants. Everyone is different proportions, you know. You might have wider waist, wider thighs. You might want more of a taper, less of a taper. You want to know these things because if you don't know what the specific fit of a pair of pants is, you might fall into the trap of buying something that fits around your waist perfectly, but then it's just this billowy, baggy nightmare fucking bullshit pants, you know? Yeah, one skinny are basically spandex. Exactly. One of the trends that we've leaned into when it comes to like getting thinner and thinner pants for guys is that more and more pants are made up of more and more spandex material. Now, I've rambled before about how I think that's like bullshit because as you fill your pants with more and more spandex, they become less attractive, less durable, less comfortable because they fold in weird places because they're literally just being made skinny for the sake of skinny. So you can basically wear like the pant or jean equivalent of leggings. Just wear leggings if you're going to wear leggings, you know? Yeah, less breathable. It just gets worse and worse and worse because everyone wants to have like a perfect form-fitting leg silhouette, you know? I've talked about it again, but I'm wearing right now some nice, relaxed, tapered jeans that I think look pretty darn good. I think they look pretty nice. Jeans, denim, are a rugged item, and that means they tend to go pretty good with other items that look rugged. I have a textured t-shirt on, and this is a field jacket. Field jackets historically were worn, you know, in the field. It's not like an evening jacket or, you know, it's not an item of clothing that denotes, you know, how would you say, fragility or being afraid to get dirty. Now, obviously, I am fragile, and I do hate to get dirty, but, you know, that's fashion for you. You can do whatever you want. So the thing that I like about my jeans and a few other pairs of real jeans that I've gotten, like actual denim jeans, is that because they have no stretch material, actually, I think the ones I'm wearing right now have 2%. So just a teensy bit to help out, you know? But the thing that I really like about them is that because they don't have any flex, check this out, okay? Guys like this? Now, I will now end my career on YouTube. I have my fingers hooked in the belt loops, and I will try to pull down my pants as hard as I can. Nope. Not gonna happen. Ow. Behold, the way all pants fit on men for like 100 years until we started putting spandex in everything. That looked like it hurt. Yep, denim's a lot stronger than I am. That's pretty impressive, though. It's just denim! Levi's figured this out 150 years ago. It was like this for everyone. And then they started putting spandex in everything, and now fucking every pair of pants is just this, like, polyester spandex rayon bullshit that squeezes your legs. It fits on you about as sturdily as underwear. Like, underwear will stay on, but if you pull it down, it goes down. You know? These pants, denim, do not go down unless you unbutton the button. If you unbutton the button, they'll go down. That's the point. That's what the button's for, you know? As a consequence of that, these jeans are crazy comfy after only breaking them in for a couple of days. Ah, my neck hurts. I think that you should take all of these things into consideration when you're making your purchases, you know? If you want some nice, real denim jeans, you can get them at a very good price at Levi's, you know? Levi's invented jeans. That's not an exaggeration. They literally did that, you know? What if you got skinnier? It wouldn't matter. The reason I can't pull these pants down is because of my hip bone. I would have to have my hip bone shaved off. So you can get them at Levi's. if I were recommending like good starter pants to get, I would think, how do you break down and categorize what kinds of pants a guy is wearing? Like, you know, there's sweatpants and joggers. We've already looked at those. Sweatpants are almost self-explanatory. But what about like pants that you could get that you would, you know, wear outside in a more general sense, you know? So here are my suggestions for what to look at and what to think of. Okay? So for one, obviously jeans. For jeans, I recommend actual denim jeans. For one, it'll look and feel better. For two, there's more modularity in how you can shape them. For three, you know, they look more rugged, which is, I think, how jeans should look. That's their jeans, you know? They last longer. They're basically invulnerable, you know? So that's for one. Number two, cargo pants. Cargo pants are a lost art, but they are drippy as shit if you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, cargo pants look really good. Get a nice pair of cargo pants in a light brown, tan green, you know, dark brown, whatever, something in the ballpark, something in that like earthy tone, and you can pair this with like anything. They're so good. For one, they're comfortable. For two, they're useful. For three, there are so many different kinds. There are kinds that have drawstrings. There are kinds that have zip-ups and buttons, you know. I actually, and I'll show these, I have 2 pairs of cargo pants that I'd like to show you. These are canvas. Do I still have the fold? No, I don't. They're canvas, which means they are indestructible. Like denim, canvas, very sturdy material, very thin. These aren't very much in the way of cargo. I don't think they even have, yeah, they have 1 extra pocket on them. But when I wear these, they're very baggy in a very deliberate way. They're wide ankled. So when I wear them, I usually fold the cuffs up and I just have this big flare on the pants that I think looks pretty good. In my opinion, I think it looks good. And I have these athletic Lululemon cargo pants. These I'm also very fond of. I like the color. You know, they've got the pockets and such and such. The reason I like them so much is because they're in a very nice interstitial space when it comes to formality. See, they are zip and button up, which means that, you know, they're like pants. They're not like sweatpants with a drawstring. But the material is like this kind of vague athletic wear, you know? It almost feels like pleather. It's very odd. So it's in the midpoint, you know? I think that it fits very well in a specific kind of like streetwear build. I think that cargo pants are great. I think they tend to look really good. The thing, however, that makes them look good, the thing that makes them look best, is a willingness to break with the skinny jean trend. I think this looks fantastic, personally. The whole point of cargo, it's like joggers. The whole point here is to be willing to break with that obsession with having everything sleek and straight to leg. I'll give you an example, okay? This image that I'm about to show you is from an article called How to Wear Cargo Pants. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I really don't like the model that they choose. And then I'm going to show you another image, and you tell me if how I feel is how you feel, okay? Personally, I don't like this look. If you want to wear leggings, dog. I don't like this. I don't like the whole, yeah, I want to have that cargo drip pockets, but I also want it to perfectly form fit to my athletic body. I don't like that. Now, here's an image of a pretty athletic guy who, in my opinion, looks a lot better. And not just because of the jacket that he's wearing. I think the reason that he looks better is because the form and the silhouette of the cargo pants that he's wearing, it looks a lot more confident, a lot more natural. It doesn't look like he's some beefy guy who's like, you know, clinging the backpack, or sorry, not the backpack, the pants to his body or whatever. There we go. You can see, can't you? I think that cargo pants look good as a component to a lot of different styles. I think they convey confidence and utility. I think they convey a casualness, a lack of formality. It's 100% AI. Is it AI? Well, I stand by the statement either way, even if it's AI. This is from an actual fashion article, by the way, so whatever. But I can find the non-AI image. I stand by what I said. Does everyone agree, though? It seemed people in chat were also pretty positively inclined to this over the other one. And if you are, then I completely agree. This looks like a real image to me. I think these two look fantastic. I can't really speak to women's fashion, but for the guys specifically, I think that a really nice, coherent form is present here. Looks confident, looks great. Style's on point. Casual streetwear, obviously. Looks really great, So yeah, I say look into a pair of cargo pants. And the nice thing is, again, super versatile. You can get cargo pants in like any form or fashion. There are kinds that are drawstring. There are kinds that are jogger made with wicking material, cotton made like sweatpants, canvas or twill or regular pant material, that have like the button and the zip up. You can get them in so many different forms. I guarantee you that it will look good on you, They can work on people of any size for a wide variety of like fits, So yeah. A nice pair of jeans, a nice pair of cargo pants. I think that's a really great place to start. But there's one more that I would recommend. And the last one is chinos. A chino can mean a lot of different things, but basically it's a kind of cotton pants that tends to be made of twill. It's basically, what if we made pants that were semi-formal, You have probably seen and even worn chinos so many times in your life without knowing it because like they look like so many different things. These are chinos. See? Literally just like khaki pants, Just regular why are these so form-fitting? What? This is what I mean, man. If this was straight leg, it would look so much better. This is so skinny that his thigh is smoothing the pleat at the front. Ugh. Okay, I think it looks ridiculous. It literally looks like somebody's using a vacuum to shrink wrap his entire lower body with the. Okay, no, fuck this article, dude. Are you kidding me? This looks like he's naked. Okay, this is ridiculous. Let me find a different article. Hold on. You look up stuff. Look, it's just my opinion. Okay. Here we go. Thank God. How to wear chinos with everything. And that's the nice thing about chinos. You actually can wear them with everything. People tend not to pleat chinos, by the way, so it's weird to see so many images of pleated chinos, but whatever. Khaki pants, whatever. Like, you've seen pants that look like this? Chinos! Woo! So, basically, if you're looking at pants, and they're not cargo pants, and they're not corduroy, they're not jeans, but they're not trousers, they're probably chinos. Chinos can be worn with literally everything. You can wear them with a t-shirt. You can wear them with a suit. They are almost uniformly useful. Here's some J. Crew chinos. I own one. I actually ordered one a while ago, and it arrived. I have it sitting on my bed. They're just good. They're just good, You can get them in low rise, mid rise, high rise. They can go with anything. Seriously, If you want an item of clothing that just gives you a like perfect line black silhouette pair of legs, chinos are what you want. Just a pair of black chinos that fit you properly. Go to a store, go to any store, there will be plenty of chinos, trust me. Find ones that fit, find ones that come up here proper, and then find the proper fit, taper, whatever. You get that, you've got it, kablamo, Does that make sense? Everyone get this? I don't have that much to say about chinos because they're basically like the t-shirts of pants. They're almost universally useful. I can't figure out why I find these so upsetting. I mean, I personally am not a huge fan of chinos because, in my opinion, they lack a lot of character. But that's my opinion. That's not an objective fact. I just prefer other things personally, How do you feel about cuffing the bottom of the pants? I tend to cuff the bottom of my pants. There are two reasons for this. One of them is because I have relatively short legs for a 6'2" guy. The other one is because I think it tends to create a pleasant break against the top of my shoes. But again, it's a personal preference. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with owning chinos. I own like 4 or 5 pairs. You know, it's really just like you have one and it is useful. It's a good like fill-in pants. It's great. It's great. You know, it's good. It's great. I think these look nice. I've been talking about that soaked on stuff. How do you get the cuffs to stay? You don't have to. They just stay. Cuffs will not get uncuffed. I put these cuffs in when I bought these like half a week ago, and they're exactly where they have been, and they won't ever move. Is there a stigma against them or something? Chinos? No. Chinos are incredibly common, widely used. They are great for casual, semi-casual, formal. Chinos are just generally excellent pants. I wore them in DC. That fit everyone congratulated me on. I wore chinos with that suit. Like, they're chinos, you know? Yeah, they're universal. They're just a good item to have, you know? Now, the last item that I'm going to talk about here is, I guess, a little bit more specific. However, I do think there are lots of there's a lot of valuable fashioning that can be done with a nice pair of dress trousers, even if you're not wearing a suit. So this, I'm getting more into the fashion side of things, like not just building a nice wardrobe, but like fashion. I'm going to bring up another GQ article because I tend to like how they structure their articles. So trousers are suit pants. There are a billion different kinds. You know, there's an infinite number of different kinds of suit pants. I can't go over all of them. They tend to have for one, they tend to have a pleat. They tend to have a like very clear seam that goes down the front that is meant to fold in front of your legs. And they tend to taper in at the top because they often sit a little bit higher waist than your average pants. Now, I think the reason why that's kind of neat is because you can actually do a lot of really interesting stuff with a pair of pleated trousers. Let me see if I can find men's fashion, suit, trouser, and t-shirt. Wow, this is not even remotely what I asked for, Google. God, this sucks now. Suit pants? Do we not use the term trouser anymore? Is that taboo? Wow, this is worthless. That's crazy. Okay, this is just showing fashion bullshit. Yeah, Google search is fucking worthless now, man. God damn. Ranked trousers, perhaps? Here. Men's suit pants, semi-formal. No, let's just go casual. Casual. Men's suit pants, casual. What are you going to do for me, Google? Show me a bunch of god-awful Amazon listings. That's fantastic. Let me see if I can find one here that works. Just a single one. A single one. Maybe if I look up linen trousers? Yeah, it's literally just all like Amazon listings now. It's worthless. It's horrible. It's terrible. I was going to go into how conceptually having pants that have a nice pleat down the front gives you a lot of room for mixing it with casual styles, but if Google is going to be this unresponsive, I have other things that I could look into. Yeah, we'll move on. Forget it. Never wear dress pants, okay? It's over. Never wear them. You should go to Pinterest. I've never used Pinterest. I don't know what it is. Okay. What else did I bring here? Oh, yeah, I got these. These are cute. Designer pants. They fit me really nice. I think they're cute because they're like a statement piece. Not that expensive as designer pants go, but I like them. You know? Honor the gift, I think. Yeah. I had to come on to say that Honor the Gift is an incredible women's brand too. The clothes are gorgeous. Oh, that's nice. Like it except the logo-ish part. Yeah, I don't like logos, you know, but I do like all the other stuff, so whatever. It's like an internet fashion brand. Yeah, it's not like super high profile or anything. It's not like a money flex. I just here we go. What casino carpet are they made from? Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Men's slacks casual. Maybe that'll bring it up. Nah, casual. No, it just brings up casual pants then, and then it's like fucking cargo pants and shit. Man, fuck Google, man. Yeah. Yeah, I saw those at the stores, Ulris. Wait, what are you looking for? Don't worry about it. Hold on, get more. Get more. I showed these off before, but these are the two nice, big, expensive, high-quality coats that I got from Suit Supply. They're very nice, but I've talked about them. So, yeah. And with that, I can stop pulling stuff from my secondary closet and start pulling stuff from my main closet. Check it out. Heavyweight t-shirts. Like what I talked about, see? Big, heavy t-shirts. They're literally just basic t-shirts, but they're heavy. You put them on, big and heavy, solid. Put them on, big. Like that. Very nice. And you all have seen these. I've got a bunch of nice linen and cotton short sleeve shirts. Button-ups. Very nice. Summer. Big summer vibes. And then I've got long sleeve shirts and Henleys that I rarely wear because I don't get cold that often. And then we have nice men's shirts. See? Very good. I've worn these on stream. Really good. Comfy. I used to think the only kind of button-up shirt were dress shirts, but that's not true. Flannel from North Face. Super nice. Egyptian cotton, pearl snap, cowboy button-up. Very nice. Denim jacket. I wore this recently. Very, very, very nice. I got a designer sumo jacket. I wore this on stream. It's very interesting. It's a sumo jacket. It's like a big robe with these big things in the front. It's very comfy. Windbreakers. Anime. Anime. Oh, they got BB-sama. Anime. Anime. I think this is a non-anime windbreaker. It's from the 80s. You can talk.
What's up?
Yeah, there you go.
Why would I, though? Who needs to speak when the outfit speaks for itself? You know I had to do it to him.
Big puffer jacket. Notice how oversized clothing can work well if it accentuates other clothes and creates a consistent silhouette. Puffer jackets are good for this.
Taking this.
Give it.
This is a lazy outfit. for me.
Mine.
The only thing cool about this outfit
I think you look good.
and the fact that my watch matches it.
I think you look good. Okay. All right. That's all I care to show, mostly because I'm getting tired of all this. Out of breath just from that. I have a headache. There are a lot. Ooh, where'd you get the heavyweight t-shirts? Abercrombie and Fitch. I think they have a lot of nice stuff. Okay, we need to do a wrap up. This is very important, okay? This is the important part. A lot of people act like the only way you could get into fashion is if you have a lot of money, and that's really, really dumb. You're gonna buy clothes anyway. It's just a matter of like, hey, if you care to, you could use the money that you were going to use buying less nice fitting together clothes to buy ones that do fit together properly. Like, why not learn how to do it properly since you're gonna buy the clothes anyway, you know? So if you're a guy, here are my recommendations, okay? What I think you should do if you have the option to, all this has to be done in person, okay? Not online, is go to a mall or a strip mall or a big department store or any place where there's going to be a bunch of clothing options from different brands. So it can be a department store, but not a single clothing store, you know? You can go there, all right? And I would recommend you just have a fun day, either with just by yourself or with someone else, you know, and try on some options and get a feel for what your size is, you know? It's not that difficult to do. It just takes a little bit of a little bit of time and persistence. And then as you build up clothes, I think it would be good to think of, like, what sort of style are you into? You know, when you imagine yourself in a kind of idyllic sense, how do you imagine yourself dressing? Do you imagine yourself in like tattered jeans and a band t-shirt with a leather jacket? Do you imagine yourself wearing like a rolled up button up shirt with like trousers? Do you imagine yourself wearing like streetwear? Like, how do you imagine yourself conceptually? How would you like to represent yourself if you had the option to, if you could snap your fingers and just be dressed the way you wanted to, ideally without having to worry about money, you know? And I think that getting to that point can be really difficult, and I think that people's tastes will also change with time. So rather than thinking of building specific outfits, the best thing that you can think of is building a basic wardrobe that statement pieces will work well with. You know, you don't want to think, oh, I would look good in this outfit, so I'm going to get 5 variants of this outfit, and they're all going to look basically the same, you know? You don't want that. Instead, what I recommend is find a brand that has t-shirts, and the t-shirts fit properly. They look good, they fit properly, they fit on the shoulders well, and get a couple of those, you know? Abercrombie & Fitch has nice t-shirts, and they're only like $15 each. It's not tough to find, you know, cheap t-shirts and to try on, you know, which see which ones fit best. Try that, get a nice pair of shorts, get a couple pairs of pants. Again, over time, I'm not saying go splurge tomorrow, but the main things that you want to focus on are not, oh, I really want to be goth, so let me find a goth item. Don't do that. That's the trap everyone falls into. It's like thinking, I want to learn how to draw, you know, a deer really well. So you're like, okay, I'm just going to like draw nothing but deer. That's not how it works. It's like a language. You have to build up the logic and the feel and the pattern of how to feel comfortable and good in your outfit. You know, everyone can look good in just a basic outfit. Even if it's not your style, you want to have that basic stuff built up so that you can introduce styled elements. So a good example of this would be, let's say my preferred aesthetic was all like Freddie Mercury gay club cocaine core, right? And I was like, okay, how do I dress like that? So all I bought was white t-shirts and variants of those designer jeans that I showed you a second ago, the ones with the pattern, the Honor the Gift pants. Maybe I pull that off. But in all likelihood, I'd be willing to bet that because I haven't gotten much practice building a fit, you know, all I would do is disappoint myself because I would overreach. I would try my best to satisfy this like long-term fashion goal, but then because I don't really have the skills necessary to build that up, I would fail and I'd feel discouraged. I'd feel like, oh man, that was my style too and I couldn't make it work. Hey, who here has felt that? Who here has felt at some point that they could not do a specific look because they took a swing at it one time and it didn't work their way and they felt really discouraged afterwards? I bet everyone has had an experience at least kind of like that, where you thought, oh yeah, this item, or oh, this look, or this way of doing my hair, or that, or this, or whatever. And then it didn't work out because, you know, maybe you didn't execute it perfectly. And then you feel even worse about it. If you haven't felt that way about fashion, you felt that way about something. This is just an innate issue with being passionate about something. You get invested, and because you're not yet good at that thing, your investment is rewarded with an acute knowledge of your inability to reach your desired point. Exactly, furtives, yeah. When you try to just buy a bunch of specific theme pieces without having something basic to rely on, you know, there's no foundation to it, you know? And also think about the colors that look good on you. Yeah, in some cases, I think that sometimes there are certain types of styles or colors that'll work best with a person's skin tone or appearance or demeanor, or whether or not they wear glasses or whatever else, or their build when it comes to the fit or whatever. But again, I think the main thing to remember is that almost anything can work on almost anyone. And all of the rules are bullshit. What matters is the language, you know? It's the difference between a person not knowing how to speak English and a person knowing how to speak English and intentionally engaging in a bunch of like cryptic slang that breaks apart the rules of the language in a way that's still comprehensible to people. Does that make sense? Like, you'll hear all of these bits of information about how the shoulders should always fit this way. Don't mix blue and brown, this, that, the other. And that's true when you're learning the basics. But then when you get better about it, you know, you can actually make up rules all you want in the same way that people will just break apart the English language in ways that are almost incomprehensible to a non-native English speaker, but are actually pretty intuitively understandable to a person who knows the language well enough to understand that the rules are being deliberately broken. Exactly, Fluffy Bear. You can see examples of this all the time, by the way, if you take a look at people who really know what they're doing with fashion. And to accommodate the message that was sent to me by Kanye earlier today, we are now going to look at the model guy.
On as a grown.
Just a moment. This is the guy who did those one-piece fits. This guy is a high, like, runway fashion model. He knows more about fashion than God. He owns billions of dollars of clothing. I am not here to recommend you buy the items of clothing that he owns. I'm only here to look at the outfits that he is constructing and to use them as examples of the fact that from the lowest to the highest levels of fashion, it's about the language of expression. So here, 1 second.
Grown man. These are by far the worst fits you could ever throw on as a grown man. These are the most ugliest, atrocious fits, bro. Do not wear these. Number one, let's start off strong, man. Who's wearing a flannel? That's one of the worst items you could ever wear, man. It don't look good no more, bro. It's something about it, bro. I've never seen anyone successfully pull off a clean flannel.
This is incorrect. Flannels are cool. This is how you style them. Flannel, suede pants.
Okay. So every single outfit this guy wears is going to be absolutely top tier. So I'm not going to say over and over again, he looks really good, because he does. He always does, and he always will. He knows more about it than I do. He knows more about it than all of us put together. There's no point in me saying he looks great. We know. A lot of the items that he's wearing are like $2,000 designer fits. So we're not talking about the specific items that we're wearing. What we're talking about is the basic rules and the language of fashion. So what do we see here, right? We see a lot of congruity with color, for one. We see a lot of congruity with the silhouette, right? Because the flannel billows outward like this, and then it follows perfectly into the cargo pants. See? Notice how we have very baggy shirt, very baggy cargo pants, forms a clean, simple silhouette. The line here is perfect. And then you have the cargo pants sort of crumple down on top of these really big, really busy shoes. Everything here is cohesive. I'm going to mute it because it's just music. Now he's added a jacket, and now with the addition of a jacket, notice how we're following the language remains the same, but we've added another element. Same basic idea, except these pants are even baggier. These are drippy as hell. This is what you could be if you had the courage to wear the baggiest pants. I don't. Maybe one day. Like I said, this is on the higher end of fashion stuff, but it's about understanding the language. Can you understand what I'm trying to say when I say like the language, where like this guy does not assemble these outfits by thinking, well, the rule says that this color can only go with this color, and the rule says that this can only work with this. What he's instead doing is he's looking at his massive array of high-quality designer clothing, and he's going, okay, this article, this bit of language, this term, this phrase, this turn of phrase, all of these work well with this item too. There's like a flow, like poetry, a sort of synthesis. Does that... Okay, hopefully people understand what I'm going on about. There are them skinny pants. Too many people think of fashion in terms of like a bunch of rules you have to follow. But again, the rules are only a crutch that you use to get, Jesus Christ, to get familiar enough with the way all of this works. I have to say this, you can get all these designs without designer prices. Yes, like I said, I'm not endorsing all the items he's wearing are like $1 million, okay? I feel like some dudes can just pull off anything, ha ha ha. Hey, keep in mind, him pulling off anything here is not because he has some magical body. Like, he's a skinny dude or whatever, sure, but like, it's because he knows what he's doing, you know? If I were you guys, like, and I was interested in trying to build out a specific aesthetic, what I would do is I would go on Pinterest and I would look at inspo boards for the type of clothing you're into. And rather than thinking, oh, I want to buy that item, instead you should ask yourself, what makes that item look good? What about this fit works? What about it looks good? Really think about it. Like, what's the logic here? Well, we have the clean silhouette, we have the taper from the suit out to the hip, and then notice how going down to the pants, I'm pretty sure these jeans are boot cut. Isn't that interesting? He's wearing a vest and a leather suit jacket, and then the boot cut and the flare out to the boots that he's wearing. So, okay, we have a kind of interesting swoop going on there. You know, we basically have, like, I don't know, trucker, leather, cowboy formal here, you know? Kind of an interesting fit. I mean, obviously it is. You know, it's this guy. It's just so interesting how much can work here. He's used these pants a few times, too. Very versatile. Another thing that's worth noting is that this guy very obviously seems to have a preference for looser, baggier fits. He also seems to lean more into casual clothing. He doesn't cuff his pants. They tend to be baggy. They tend to, like, you know, fold over. He doesn't like he doesn't go with the pleats or the cuffs or whatever. He has a personal style that he leans into here. He's also wearing flannel, so, you know, there's not a high level of formality there to begin with. Who is he if we want to follow him? Wisdom Kai. Oh, I should follow.
Time. I mean, at least it's my best unboxing video. Anyway, typing my name in right now. What other jacket can you do that with? It's got this cool pocket. The zipper
This is him reviewing designer brand stuff.
is creative. Just a great jacket overall. Speaking of great jackets, we got this amazing Balmain jacket. I mean, what's not to say? This thing is beautiful. I literally feel like Lenny Kravitz in it. This is just a 10 out of 10 jacket. Oh, peep the...
So again, this jacket costs more than your house. This is a mortgage jacket, okay? So we ask ourselves again, why does it look that good? Why does he look this good? And the answer is not, oh, because you have to pay $10,000 for the outfit. The answer is because he has the knowledge to put this together.
This is just a 10 out of 10 jacket. Oh, peep the bag as well. We have this beautiful Hermes Act 50. I got this bag for 2 reasons. This photo of Travis Scott, and then also I saw this guy at the airport with like a really big vintage age bag that was a similar color. So I did some digging and I found this hack bag from the 80s on eBay, and I love it, and it's literally perfect for travel.
That was 15,000 Australian dollars.
I also got a hack. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? I got a black one. I got a black hack 42. Don't ask me why. I mean, look at the outfit. Do I really need to explain why? Speaking of ridiculous bags, this is also new from Leon Emmanuel Blanc. This is the scariest bag I've ever seen, but it's actually really cool, and I can't wait to wear it. And then like people like shake the hand behind me when I'm walking. I don't know. I think that might be kind of fun. I got these pants from Capital. I actually
Love these, by the way. I even looked for them. $2,000.
used to own a pair, but they were too tight, so I basically just got a size that fits me, and now I love them. Now, this really wouldn't be a Wisdom K unboxing video unless there's a bunch of them hearts. So we got these 3
They look really nice, though, huh? Even this, even just with a regular ass t-shirt. Well, this isn't a regular t-shirt, but those look really nice, huh? Those are flares. Yeah, it's like 60s hippie bell-bottom pants.
own a pair, but this is because they add like from Unveined Studios. Izzy Do. I don't really know if it has a pick up this Yoji Yamamoto racing jacket. Also, this beanie that you see me wearing in this video, it's just not rocking with the taking, eye-catching, and all similar words. Now, just guess what this is. I mean, it's this video, then a pair of chromed out.
These fits are so wild. Yeah, that's designer fashion for you. You know? Not like I own any of that shit. I wouldn't be able to own any of these. No. I know that. Just remember, the reason I'm looking at this, the whole point is not, the whole point is not, hey, wouldn't it be great if we all had $20,000 wardrobes? The point is, what about these outfits looks good? Like what about them? What underlying elements, what logic, what system is making them look good, you know? The patch pants even has yeah, they were really nice, yeah. Keep in mind he tried to buy an 800 pair of blue slippers. They were down to 350. Also, a person donated that much and asked me to do it. God damn, this guy's drippy. Holy shit. That's crazy. If it comes across as me being defensive, I just want to say that there are people who unironically act as though I'm being classist by, like, caring about this, and that actually really does bother me. I think that's, like, zero IQ shit. There were people in my subreddit who were acting that way. And that's gonna end up being, like, banned material shit or whatever. I just think it's cool to get good at, like, the system of making what you wear look nice. Yeah, I saw the YouTube comments. Yeah, there was one comment that was like, I don't know if I can watch you do this. It hurts. It feels like a betrayal. Fuck, dude, come on, you know? You nerding out about this is infectious. Man, this guy's outfits. God damn. Maybe we could try to do some, like, fit reviews. 1 second. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. This has more that we're going to go into, but I want to talk about, like, I guess, what I'm thinking when I look at this. And I want to reiterate, because I've said this before, and I want to make sure everyone understands, I don't know everything about fashion. I don't even know a little bit about fashion, okay? I think that's really nice. Wait, read more. Subscribe now for free? Oh my god. Hold on. Every website now, man. I don't even bother with them. That shit's annoying. Yeah, but I want to look at the guys. I want to look at the dudes. That's the thing. I want to look at the dudes. Why does my neck hurt so much? It's actually quite... I don't want to do any fit reviews of chatters. I don't want to say anything negative or any of that. I purely am just growing enthusiastic about the logic of self-expression and beauty in fashion. That's it. It doesn't matter how much the outfit costs. If you assemble the whole outfit from $2 at a thrift store, that's great. If you get it all real cheap like, that's great. You know, it doesn't matter to me. I just think it's cool to look cool. Okay, I think we got it. Can't wait for Vosh to start his fashion channel so we can have a clean separation of church and state. This shit kills me. It's so boring and wrong stream to be a negative Nancy. I have to sign in with my email from the same... I can't do it from my phone? Oh my god. Annoying. Jesus. God. Here. Fuck. Oh, that looks really nice. That looks really nice, I feel. What are those, linen pants? What is this crumple diaper? Is this diaper play? What the fuck is that? I don't endorse this. I don't endorse this degeneracy. The full denim. That actually looks pretty good. That's good denim. Yeah, I don't know if this is necessarily what I'm looking for here. Men's fashion advice. Male fashion advice. No, I think that's the thing. I think I've said everything that I want to say, mostly. Let me change it back to manual focus. Gotten it out of my system. Oh, Fluffy Bear or Fuffy Bear, I think they look good for the most part. Opinions on Tim's? Tim's are nice. Gonna do another wrap-up since we delved. No, basically, I just think that it's a fun language to get into. You know, that's it. I think, you know, I guess the only reason I'm really doing this is because I felt increasingly agitated by the behavior of people in my community. When I was doing the whole autism bit with, like, the video games or whatever, you know, or like the game making, you know, whatever other interest I was rambling about, there are always people who are bothered by it, which is fine. But this time there was this, like, indignant rage at people who are acting like it's sort of like innately you know, trivial or trite or stupid or whatever, and being fucking weird and judgy, which I didn't like at all. So I wanted to ramble about it to get out of my system, and now I can just kind of defer to this, you know. It's very, very irritating. You know, it's not like I make a big secret of the fact that I'm autistic as shit when it comes to my interests. So I have no idea why people would look at this and think like, oh, this is some, you know, a special fucking different thing, you know. Yeah, I like Ulster Coats Logical Pretzels. Is this because it's more gay than you've ever been? Possibly. I do genuinely think there was a degree of homophobia and sexism to it, you know? Because I would talk about other things, and maybe people weren't interested in it, but, you know, if you enjoy the streams and enjoy my commentary, there's a decent likelihood that even if you're not into a subject that I'm talking about, you would hear me talk about it enthusiastically and be like, you know, oh, that's nice, I guess. Like, you know, he's doing his thing or whatever. And I don't expect everyone to be perfect about that, but that's life, right? But with the clothing thing specifically, man, some people, holy shit, you know? And the classism stuff as well, I think, or the accusations of classism, or people who are like, people who feel like betrayed at the idea of me spending clothing or like money on the clothing. I'm not buying designer, you know, altogether, the amount of money that I've spent on all the clothing is a lot less than the excess money I make from a single month of production from the channel. It's clothes, you know, you can buy like 10 t-shirts. That's $150. You know, that's like 1/3 of the fucking donation from, you know, Benjamin Gilbert Liff. People were so deranged in the sub, it somehow turned into you being racist for saying K-pop idols look the same on Hinge shit. Yeah, I saw people being crazy. Dude, what the fuck? Why are people like this? Not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous because I am also into fashion of the money you can spend. Yeah, look, just keep in mind, a lot of the nice items that I've gotten that people have complimented me on aren't that expensive. For one, the pair of jeans that I'm wearing right now were $225 at Levi's. That's a lot. However, these jeans will literally last forever. These are literally like forever pants, you know? Like high quality, high fitting, like custom fit, beautiful jeans that will never die. I know $225 isn't a little amount of money, but you know, we're in a space online where people will like be like, yeah, I saved up money and I bought a $3,000 graphics card. I feel like we're in the realm of possibility here. This right here was $140. I can't really speak to the t-shirt. This one was more expensive than I would normally go. I got this from the place that I got my nice jeans. This is $70. It's the single most expensive t-shirt that I have, and it doesn't really show on camera, but it has a very nice texture to it that goes really well with the denim that I bought. So I bought it kind of like as a cap off to the nice pants that I got. All the other t-shirts that I wear on stream are $15. Like the heavyweight t-shirts are $35 because they're like big heavy t-shirts, but they're just from Abercrombie and Fitch, you know? The blue denim jacket, I got that on sale. Normally $300 down to $140, I think. You know, I'm not saying it's not pricey. It is pricey. I'm not pretending that's not an issue. I do, however, think that, you know, it's very possible to, you know, get into this stuff without, those concerns. You can just shop at H&M and look nice if you can dress yourself. Yeah, though I don't recommend H&M too much. Their clothing tears. Yeah. It's they tend to fall apart. I would recommend if you hold on. H&M clothing. If you're looking for like H&M style clothing, there are other places I think you could go to get something comparable. I have to think about it though. It's been a while since I shopped at H&M. Why does my neck hurt so much? Do you guys have Uniqlo in the States? Oh, I've heard a lot of good things about Uniqlo, but holy shit, I fucking hate the texture of their t-shirts. I can't stand them. If you had a place that you would recommend for most styles that people can go for, what would it be? What I would recommend you do at first principle, or not first principle, fucking, I always say at first principle. First, I would recommend going to a markdown department store like Marshall's or Nordstrom Rack. You can find a lot of really good stuff there. Nordstrom Rack is in the higher end of stuff, but occasionally you can swipe really good items pretty cheap. For example, my favorite brand of casual men's button-up shirt, Rod and Gun, sells their shirts usually in the ballpark of $180 each, but I can usually snag them at Nordstrom Rack for $60 to $70, and that's a high quality item down, right? There are plenty of items at Nordstrom Rack that are cheaper. Marshall's is like a cheaper version of Nordstrom Rack, and Ross Dress for Less is a cheaper version of that. Ross Dress for Less sucks, but there are items there that you can find that are okay, you know? Also, yeah, look for sales, look for clearance, you know? Go to clearance racks. Thrift stores can work sometimes, yeah. I need Rex, drop some fairly priced, relatively high quality brands. Look, if you want that, go to Nordstrom's. Nordstrom's is a great place to go to buy shoes anyway, you know, but if you want to like sample higher quality clothing, look, there's like 4 tiers of clothing, okay? There's like 4 tiers. In terms of quality, fit, longevity, whatever, okay? At first, you have the absolute bottom tier dumpster fucking garbage bullshit, okay? A lot of this stuff ends up like at Ross. H&M carries some of this stuff. This is clothing that legitimately, like, it'll fit your body, but it falls apart really quickly. It's just not made that well, you know? And the next tier up is like solid, sturdy, okay clothing. You can go buy this at Target or places at Walmart or whatever else. You can buy a t-shirt for $12 off of this, you know, just simple, sturdy clothes. They'll last you a while. They're fine. They're fine. You can build a whole beautiful wardrobe off of these, you know. Now, the thing to note is that if you're shopping cheap clearance clothes, you know, not high quality stuff, okay, you can build amazing outfits. Nothing's stopping you. But it's rare that you'll find a single piece that's a stunner on its own. Does that make sense? It's rare that you'll find, when you're shopping at that level, like at Target or whatever, you can find good items and put together a good outfit, but rarely will you find something that as a single item is impressive for its fit, quality. You know, you have to work together. You're kind of building something that is more than the sum of its parts if you want to make a good outfit from there, okay? Then the next tier up, again, this is just my opinion, you have like higher tier but middle class accessible clothing. This would be like Abercrombie. This could be like Tommy Bahama, Banana Republic, to an extent Rod and Gun. This is the kind of place that you would go to where you would look at like the pants and it's like, oh, this is a pair of pants for $100. Here is a J. Crew. Yeah, J. Crew, perfect example, J. Crew. You look at like their button-up shirts and it's like, this is $90. You know, a t-shirt, like, oh, this is $40. These places are expensive for the most part, though Abercrombie is pretty reasonably priced in my opinion. But yeah, for one, good loyalty rewards, you know? You often can get decent deals here. And when shit goes on sale, you can find crazy good deals. Again, the J. Crew chore jacket, is it still on sale? Nope, it's off sale. Sorry, lads. It's Ogre. I got this at less than half price. But like, here you go. This item right here that I just showed off to you, okay? I think that items like this are getting, so when you're buying stuff that's in this ballpark, like clothing wise, okay, you're gonna spend a decent amount of money. However, if you wait for sales, if you take advantage of seasonal discounts, if you know what you're doing, you can get really high quality, long lasting pieces that again will be with you for a long time. I got this at $140. I'm going to have this jacket forever. It's very comfortable. It fits really well. It looks really good. And this is the thing that makes it different from the clothing beneath it, like the stuff that you would get at Target. An item like this is high enough quality that it is impressive on its own. It's an item that on its own people will look at and go, oh, wow, that looks nice. Because you can tell from the build, the quality, you know, it's an item worth investing in. It's something that you can stick with for a while. And again, if you take advantage of deals, you can get stuff like that at a good, reasonable price, you know? And then the final fourth tier of quality is usually stuff that's reserved for really high-end or designer material. Places where you can get a pair of pants for $200 to $300 or a shirt for around the same price. Oftentimes, these prices are totally arbitrary and are just like an unnecessary markup. But sometimes, in some places, it's because they legitimately are really high quality. And clothing like that is something that you buy and ideally you keep with your entire life and you keep repaired and you care about and you treat well and you learn like how to properly take care of, you know? I have a few items that are in that ballpark. Just keep in mind, you know, the vast majority of the clothing that I wear is in like the second category, just regular ass clothes, you know? And then some of it is more so than that. But I think that everyone can get a good, you know, outfit paired from like the sort of second and third categories that I talked about, you know? Get most of your stuff that's decently high quality, that looks good, that feels good, you know, but isn't exceptional because exceptional costs money. And then every once in a while, you take advantage of a nice deal and you get a good, really impressive item that's more in the third category, you know? Everyone gets me, right? Is this classist? Am I guys, I know I have the money where it's like, oh, I could buy a designer. You know, first of all, that's your fault. You watch me, fuck you. But second of all, like like, you know, I think this should be accessible to people. You know, this designer at Target has some really good looking clothing. Is that true? I can't really speak to it. I'm suspicious of these costs. $60 for a suit jacket is the kind of thing that makes me think that, you know, somebody died along the way. But I do like how the fit looks, I suppose. Yeah. I would have to see it in person to care, to know, you know. But yeah, it's accessible to everyone. I'm not complaining, but is this entire stream fashion? Well, the stream title is Fashion Autism Bonus Stream. Do not watch. Seriously, this one will be different. So you can take from that whatever you want. Target actually is okay. There are plenty of fine clothes that you can get at Target. My bias will always be towards like I think that some items of clothing are the kind that you should sort of shop down, and there are some that you should shop up. A big example of ones that you should shop up would be items that look best when they have a sort of three-dimensional quality to their build. So some clothes kind of don't. Joggers don't really. You know, shorts don't, t-shirts don't. For the most part, these are just like there's just a sheet of cloth, you know, with variety. But for the most part, you know, they are meant to be sort of dimensionally simple. But then there are items where there is depth to them. Suit jackets are built up with layers. This jacket that I'm wearing, I don't think would look very good if it was one that I'd paid $40 for. Not in a classist sense, but in the sense that it really, like, logically wouldn't make sense for a brand to make the fabric this thick and form it this way if they were going to sell it at $40. You know, that it doesn't work. You know, the process of building it sort of precludes that price point at any real level of quality. So for stuff that's meant to look good three-dimensionally, that's when you want to buy up. And a good example of that, like there are some jackets that are supposed to have a kind of three-dimensional build. Basically any coat will, you know, basically any coat will. Exactly. Coats and some types of jackets, I think that trousers are a good time to shop up as well. Shoes, it varies. Guys, I don't know if this is like some over-discussed point or whatever, but I am having consistent banger after banger luck with Timberland. Timberland shoes, they have so many shoes. I love the colors. I love the slightly wider than usual fit. They're not that expensive. Like Timberland shoes are like $100 to $150, which for high quality, attractive shoes is really not that much, especially if they last you a while. Just make sure to try them on in person. Don't buy shoes online, you know. Nice Converse, and, you know, even Nikes. Nikes makes, you know, run shoes, you know. Yeah, I get you, Dante Gray. Nike is woke, true. Oh yeah, do remember to take advantage of deals when you can. You can get, seriously, like sometimes you can just go into a Nordstrom rack, which normally has pretty nice brands there, walk straight over to the clearance rack and find something that is marked down like, literally, like fucking, like 120 to 48 to 22, and it's something that initially somebody, you know, would have gotten a pretty high price point. The suit jacket that I wore in DC when talking to Ro Khanna was originally $1,400, marked down to $680, marked down to $310. And I mean, I wouldn't normally buy a suit jacket at $310 on a whim, but I would if it was marked down from $1,300 or whatever, you know. That's for sure. And it's a great suit jacket. It feels different from my other suit jackets, you know? It has a nice three-dimensional quality to it. Did you get it tailored? No. I'm a 44 in the chest and I have broad shoulders. I'm very easy to fit for suit jackets. I have trouble with pants, but for suit jackets, it's pretty easy. In case anyone is interested, since a lot of people complimented my fit here, oh, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. This isn't the jacket that was marked down from 1,300. This is a different one. Sorry, I was thinking of a different jacket. I haven't worn that jacket in front of stream yet. These pants are from Men's Wearhouse. They're just chinos. These are tan chinos that I got, and I had them slightly tailored, but only to hem the bottom, to like give them less ankle. This is a Rod and Gun short sleeve shirt that was originally $140 that I got at a discount because, again, Nordstrom Rack. Show us the jacket. Sure, I don't know if it would work with what I'm wearing right now, but, you know, who knows? I'm only getting drippier with time. Again, I hope it's clear from when I stand up, but there's a big difference in quality when you're wearing actual jeans. This is like a fucking lost art, you know? Like actual denim, it like the feel and the natural sheen of the material, it's so worth it, dudes. You look like a professor? Yeah, I tend to buy clothes that do that. There's a lady on TikTok who talks about the composition of materials on tags. She changed how I shop. I read every tag now. Oh, God, yes. If you're going to buy any item of clothing more complicated than a t-shirt, always read the tag for the material composition. It makes such a big difference. Oh. And also, of course, learn how to wash your clothes. That hurts like crazy. Read it for what? The materials that it's made of can tell you a lot about what the shirt is going to be like. If you know a bit about how the materials are built, that can tell you a lot about how to clean and wash them. First of all, do not incorrectly wash nice items of clothing, okay? I know it's a huge pain in the ass, but after you buy a nice item of clothing and then fuck it up by running it on too hot of a dry cycle for the first time, you will immediately understand the necessity of not doing that, okay? Again, for a lot of clothes, I just toss that shit in the wash. I don't give a fuck. Like sweatpants, anything made of polyester, t-shirts, whatever the fuck. Whoop. Okay, whatever, you know. But if you're putting in nice pairs of pants, button-up shirts, stuff like that, you know, anything that there's a risk, read the tag. Just read the tag. It'll tell you if it can be washed warm or cold, or if you need to hang dry it. Get some nice hangers that you can dry stuff on, ones that have kind of a wide edge so you can sort of put them on without it crimping. Yeah, anything you care about, wash on cold and hang dry if in doubt. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure, Hordo. Hell yeah. Do all Americans really use dryers? We hang everything over here. It depends on where you are. It's like a city versus rural thing in a lot of cases. So yeah, be careful with that. But yeah, anyway, it's just, yeah, make sure to do that. Fuck, my neck hurts so much, it's distracting me, man. Nah, Whiskey Papa. Some people are always going to be cunts about you being short or whatever, but I think that a short guy dressing up well, you know, it's a lot less, it invokes a lot less negative attention than being short and getting muscular or whatever, you know? It's your big brain, it's weighing you down. Yeah. Do you wear a watch? I don't like watches. I don't want to wear a watch. If it makes you feel good, consider wearing heels or lifts. Oh, yeah. I can't stop looking at the pattern on your coat, and it makes me hate that you're right about fashion. One of the things... Okay, this is the last thing I'm going to say, okay? I'm going to make a case for the concept of a statement piece. Okay, that's what I'm going to do, okay? Like I said, you can build an amazing outfit with pretty cheap clothing if you know how to put it together, but there are some things that it's usually better to lean in on the price because A, you want it to last for a while, and B, there's an element of three-dimensionality there. Another big one is texture. It's relatively easy to cheaply recreate a lot of different fits and forms, but texture is almost impossible to recreate unless you have the right material. This is why sometimes the material that clothing is made out of can make it so expensive. It's not just the rarity, it's the question of why is the rarity important? Because nothing can replicate the feeling of cashmere or moleskin or, you know, good linen or whatever else, right? So texture sometimes, you know, is almost worth the price itself. Like nice denim, again, the texture on the jeans I'm wearing, it looks really nice, you know? Velvet, yeah, it looks great. This, I think, has a pretty nice, you know, feel and sheen to it. The denim and the denim coat that I have, the shine, the luster on the coat that I own. I think that you only need a little bit of this, right? Like you only need a few accent pieces, and you can find them on sale, right? Like you can find something that looks really cool and special that you could wear with a lot of different outfits and make that kind of like an iconic element, like a piece that you become known for almost, you know? Like if I had gotten those Versace shoes, you know, I was getting known for that, you know? Thanks, Meow Bish. You should have got those shoes, man. They were out. They were out, you know? Let me think. Alden shoes. I have a pair of Alden shoes. What are your thoughts on sweaters? I tend not to like wearing them. I like how they look, though I'm not a fan of how conservative they tend to be. But they're too warm for me. And I don't like stuff that presses up against my neck. It's a shame because I like turtlenecks. Hold on. I'm trying to think of... Okay. I'm going to kind of cut against my point here. I'm going to do something that's going to make you guys be mean to me, and I'm going to make an argument for the value of a statement piece using Versace as an example. Now, I want to make this clear from the get-go, and if anyone misinterprets me or deliberately, like, you know, like says something contradictory or whatever, like, just I'm going to say this once, and if anyone gets annoying about it, I'll ban you. I'm not saying to buy Versace. Okay? You understand? I'm just going straight to a high-quality designer example so I can argue about something that is undeniably a statement piece, okay? We're only using this because this is undeniably a statement piece, not because I'm specifically arguing that you get this. All right? All right. So you want to be the horse, okay? So the final argument that I'm going to make is that I think that it's really cool to have items of clothing or accessories that make you feel like the cuntiest bitch on earth when you're wearing them. Girls have an easier time with this because they can have their cute little bags and stuff, and they tend to have more sort of socially acceptable options when it comes to jewelry. But I think that, like, I think it's cool to have an outfit, even a simple one, like shorts and t-shirt, whatever, and then have an item, and you're like looking in the mirror as you're putting it together, and you're putting the item on, and you're like, fuck yes, dude. I'm too good for this, for these bitches. I'm too good for this place, you know? And I think that you know, it's very easy to get an accent piece if you have a lot of money. If you have less money, it can be more difficult to get a good accent piece. But the point is that it makes you feel like you're serving cunt. Versace has a lot of very loud items, and I respect being loud, if nothing else. I like the way that their belts look, for example. The idea of having just any outfit. Literally, that's like black pants and a white t-shirt. And then, all right, now for the piece de resistance. Here's my gigantic fucking gold belt buckle. I like that. I like that conceptually, you know? Like, you know, I'm here to serve or whatever. Or if I go, let's just look at, I don't know, t-shirts. Yeah. I don't know what Versace has in the way of t-shirts. Just whatever. It's, yeah, I don't care. Let me see if I can find a better example, I guess. Jackets and coats. Hell yeah. I mean, yeah, these are pretty loud, but they're not really trying to find something that better serves the example. Sweatshirt, shirts, knitwear, blazers, and suits. No. What about pants and shorts? What about some loud shorts? Can you give me that, Versace? Yes! All right, boys. We're in it. We're in it to win it, okay? Again, this isn't a Versace thing, okay? I'm just saying, like, do you guys have any items where they're over the top, you know, they're loud, and when you put them on, you feel like, fuck yes. I bet some of you do, but not all of you. I think everyone should. And it doesn't have to be a $1,200 Versace pair of shorts, okay? It can be anything, you know? But it's good to have that. I really like the pants that I got. I really like the Honor the Gift brown pants that I got. they make me feel that way even though I haven't actually worn them out yet, you know? These ones, I feel like I could wear this with a white t-shirt and a black belt with a gold buckle and be extremely cunty. You know, it's really just about feeling good. It's just about feeling good, you know? Vosh, I thrifted the fucking unbelievable red real leather Michael Jackson style jacket for $25. You can definitely find crazy shit for cheap. Yes, if ever there is a time to thrift, it is to find the accent piece, because you will be looking through a local thrift store and you'll see something for like $42 and it's the most gaudy, over the top, awesome fucking bullshit you've ever seen in your life, and you'll instantly fall in love with it. And that is the point, you know? I don't think you should go thrift shopping for basics, because that's pretty difficult, you know? That's tough, like with all the consistency issues and stuff. And you can get it just as cheap, you know, just like basic t-shirt hunting or whatever. But when it comes to the accent pieces or like a cool coat or whatever, yeah. Vosh, I've been taking some of your advice and investing in some nice clothes. Got some shit at Banana Republic yesterday. It fits me good. Hell yes. Hell yes. Yeah, Banana Republic has some nice stuff. I would put them like, yeah, they're in like the third tier of quality from what the example I provided, I guess, in terms of like, yeah, they've got some really good stuff. A piece I've seen in some circles as a statement piece for pants. Holy shit. Are these really only 75 euros? These are awesome. Holy shit, hell yes. Are you kidding? This is for like goth or streetwear bitches. You know, like a slightly muscular woman who has like a white tank top and sunglasses, and she's wearing that and this and nothing else except for like some giant white sneakers. Hell yeah, dude. It's for girls with abs. This is for girls with abs, yeah. Can boomers wear that stuff? Fuck yeah, dude. Absolutely. 100%, yeah. Yeah, Treeman42. I just think it can be more difficult to go for like basic staple stuff like that when you're thrifting, because you also like have to be concerned about specific fit and sizing and stuff. And you run the risk of falling in love with a piece of of clothing or like pair of pants or whatever. That don't fit you properly, so then you like stare at it and you drool or whatever, you know? Anyway, I guess, look, fashion can be pretty dumb, but sometimes it can be pretty important, you know? And all I'm saying is that if I saw a cute chick at a club who was wearing this, I would want to impregnate her. So if you see these and you're thinking, damn, I want to be the kind of bitch who people think about impregnating while out at the club, then, you know, we're out here, you know? We out here. That true, Kyle Reese? I guess that's his brand. Like this? Hell yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of really high quality military surplus coats. Oh yeah, got the cinch. Oh, the snatched waist. That's Logical Pretzels, everyone. Look at the snatched waist. Looking great. On eBay for $20. That is fucking crazy. Man, it's crazy how drippy a lot of military wear is. Yeah, because, you know, the army like mass manufactured these coats to keep soldiers alive. And they made them good, you know? Hey, fun fact before I log off, because my neck is killing me. Did you guys know that the military is actually the reason why we have modern, standardized, ready-to-wear fashion? See, the average tailor, the average like garment manufacturer actually had no idea what humans were shaped like for all of human history. How would they know? Like, how would you get the data in 1532 for what the average shoulder width or chest circumference of a person is? And how can you mass manufacture garments without knowing that? How do you get that information? The army got it, because the army did measurements back in World War I of all of their recruits. And this is like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. So all of a sudden now, garment manufacturers actually had a data set from which they could pull to determine what, like, essentially the average person was shaped like, you know? The data set wasn't perfect, but it was the first time they had access to any kind of data like that. The army made fast fashion. Well, the army made ready-to-wear fashion. Yeah. And keep in mind, how is the army supposed to produce hundreds of thousands of like heavy wool coats for soldiers unless they had some kind of standardized idea of what people were shaped like, you know? Is that part of the reason women's sizes are convoluted? That's actually an interesting question. Is there a possibility that because men's ready-to-wear fashion got kicked off by military standardization, women's clothing standardization lagged behind because there wasn't the same initial push to get everything kind of like made ready to fit? That's actually a decent possibility. Women are also more complicated because of the bust size. You know, men's chest width tends to be proportional to their shoulder width, more or less. Whereas with women, even for all women, like if with the same like stomach size or whatever, your tits can just be any fucking size. But yeah. I wonder if that's a part of it though. There just wasn't like that early push for women's standardization. Vosh, in your fashion deep research dive, did you come across anything useful for people who present more androgynous or feminine? All of the basic logic that I have talked about here refers equally to men and women. I've mostly talked about men's style, but in terms of the language of putting together an outfit, identical in all cases. It's just a matter of getting a set of basic staples, finding what works and flows and fits well, finding a good silhouette, like a t-shirt like shape that works for you. And then after you have a basic like item set, a basic thing to rely on, to fall back on, you can start introducing accent pieces that style you more towards certain things, you know? Like that's what I've done. I built a basic wardrobe. And then after doing that, I bought a high quality coat, a denim chore jacket, a field jacket, those honor the gift cunty gay jeans, and stuff like that, you know? I got the basic outfits, and then now I'm starting to introduce those accent pieces. And now I'm at my happiest, because I wasn't that excited building the basic wardrobe. I already had t-shirts. I was replacing t-shirts with new t-shirts. But I was doing so with a process in mind to get t-shirts that didn't just fit me like a t-shirt, but that worked with the new stuff I wanted to build on top of it. And now when I go out shopping, I'm no longer thinking, oh yeah, I guess I need to get like a couple of shirts to round out my thing, and I need to get like pants this. I've got shirts, I've got pants. Now if I go out shopping, what I can do is I can walk around until I see the gaudiest, gayest fucking piece of shit goddamn shirt in the universe and think, wow, I would look like a douchebag wearing that. I want it. And I could just get it. And I don't need to like think about it because I know my size. I know my color palettes. I know what forms I tend to go for. I know what fits work with the rest of what I own. And I can pair it with a bunch of other stuff, you know? Wrong. What about for stuff such as dresses/jumpsuits? What does statement piece mean if you have a super cute dress? It's just your whole outfit, lol. Yeah, I don't know much about dress shopping specifically. But like most of what women wear isn't dresses these days, right? Like women tend to wear pants. So I guess I'm mostly talking about accent pieces with regards to layering. Even if you're wearing a dress, like you have a jacket with a dress, right? But if you're only wearing a dress, then it's not really a matter of accent pieces. It's just a matter of having like basic dresses and then more out there dresses. I admit, I know very little about dresses. I do know the basic logic still works in terms of like understanding your form, your color, your palette, and what you want to work it with. But if we're just talking like one item, one dress, then yeah, it's not really a matter of pairing stuff, I guess. It's a matter of having like an understanding of what a basic dress looks like on you, having a basic dress to like fall back to, and then thinking, okay, now that I know that, what can I build out from there, you know? And yeah, accessorizing. Oh, you know what looks really good for a chick with a dress? A big oversized belt in front of her belly. Like the kind that don't really do anything, you know, but just sort of like sit on her hips. Those look really nice. Oh. Also, my advice, don't online shop. Just don't. Buy your clothes in person. Even if you're an hour outside the city and you have to drive into the city to do it, it's better. online shopping is a fucking magical portal to disappointment, you know? Especially if you're trying to find cool deals, okay? Sometimes there are very specific items and brands that you can only get online, but for the most part, like especially when you're building a basic wardrobe, please God be careful, you know? Especially when you're looking for deals, because people get scammed so easily these days. So easily. There are so many sites out there that will just lie to you about what they're sending you, you know? I'm not saying it's impossible to find good stuff online. I'm just saying you're fishing for disappointment. You can shop online from a brand after you know their sizes. Yeah, like I can shop online from Abercrombie and Fitch or Banana Republic or whatever, because, you know. Yeah, good point, Dante Gray. Old man serving 24/7. Hell yes. Fuck yeah, dude. Love my drippy streetwear grandpa. Hey, unironically, huge endorsement of, holy shit, 250,000 likes. Huge endorsement of the fact that if you know what you're doing, you don't have to be like pushed into any given style because of your age, you know? He's got the goddamn rubber boots. You can be a streetwear drip lord when you're like 75 or whatever. Hell yes. Yes, I've seen some crazy custom-made pieces on Etsy. Haven't tried it myself, but I'd love to have a piece just made for me. You can find a lot of really amazing stuff on Etsy. I would just suggest being careful and remember to build that basic wardrobe first. You don't want to have this situation where like you're reaching desperately for a bunch of accent pieces without anything basic to build it on. You know what I mean? Like, even for people who are very fashionable, oftentimes an outfit that they wear will be like 2 or 3 normal items of clothing and then one thing that brings it all together. It's not like every outfit they put together is like 4 or 5 individual like banger fashion statement pieces. But if you're looking for everything as a statement piece, you'll only find statement pieces, and oftentimes they don't go together or they clash because an outfit's only really meant to have like so much loud item shit, you know? Like, look, dude looks great here, but look at what he's wearing. He's wearing white sneakers, a white t-shirt, and these awesome pants. The hat complements the pants color-wise, but in terms of, like, what he's selling here, the pants are what brings it all together. Same here, you know? I don't endorse these ridiculous shoes, by the way, for what it's worth. For a lot of his outfits, it's going to be like that, basically. You know, everything gets kind of pulled together. I mean, hell, look right here. I think this is a great example of how fashion knowledge, like the language of fashion, can help you look really good even when you're wearing basic pieces. You could find everything that he's wearing here very cheap, okay? These pants do not look exceptional. That shirt, that beanie, the shoes look a bit out there, but not super much so. You could get blue laces on top of like just orange sneakers and you would have these. So why does he look so good? He looks so good because of spectacular fit and color knowledge. It's amazing. The lining on, or the graphic on the shirt and the hat and the shoes all have the same orange tone. What's more, he's got the blue with the pants and the laces. And what's more, this is an off-white shirt. In what direction is it off-white? That's right. It's leaning towards orange. Look at the shirt. It's off-white in an orange direction. You can go off-white in any direction. You can go off-white in blue or in red. This one tints orange, you know? So he looks amazing. Hell yes. Fuck, his shoes are color coordinated with the outfit. Yeah, just isn't that crazy? None of this is money. Well, maybe because this guy's doing well. These are expensive items, but you could get stuff that looks like this easily without having to worry much about money. You know? Again, oh my God. Look, The brown on the collar of this jacket and the brown of the pants are the same tone. He has this tan on the shoulders, and he's got tan on the shoes. He's got green for most of the jacket, and he's got green on the shoes. He's got white on the shoes, and he's got a white shirt on and a tan hat. Incredible. Like the color knowledge and coordination here is genuinely like top tier. Incredible. And it doesn't cost that much. Like, this is just knowing what you're doing. He does the same thing. Look, light pink pants, light pink hat, blue, blue. He knows what he's doing. This one is more subtle, but it still works really well. The shirt that he's wearing is all brown shades because of the color of the dog. The pants are brown, the shoes are brown. Even the laces aren't pure white. These laces are like a very, very, very light tan. You can tell if you look closely, which matches the shirt properly. The red here is the accent piece, you know? It doesn't match with anything else, which makes it look good. The fact that it's so different in color from anything else that he's wearing makes it stand out deliberately rather than looking like it's a failed attempt to match with something else. Oh, you're right. There is a tiny bit of red right here at the back of the shoes. God damn, this man is good. Any color wheel or combo chart we can look at to get ideas? No, because you can do it with anything. There is no set rule. Me personally, I lean towards brown, tan, and dark red. Those are my colors. I love them. Most of my outfits are those. Anything denim, I'll keep blue, but apart from that, it's pretty much all browns and tans and dark reds. I have a few accent colors that I wear sometimes, but for the most part, this is what I lean into, you know? But like, it's just a matter of knowing what you're doing. Hell yes, brother. All right. I've had an incredible time talking about all of this. I'm gonna have to end stream. I'll read donos tomorrow. I'm very sorry. My neck hurts so much. It's just my poor posture. I literally need to like stretch or something. You know, I'll be fine. I had a lot of fun. I hope that we all feel good about this. You know, conceptually. It's really just like a matter of communication. So it's something that I've been getting more excited about. My initial bid was towards more conservative men's semi-casual clothing or semi-formal clothing, but as I move forward, I want to lean more into stuff that's kind of streetwear with like larger, baggier fits, and I want accent pieces, you know, kind of like the pants that I got, the kinds of things that I could wear and just like, you know. Oh, there's one last thing I'll show, okay? This is something that I've been using as an accent piece for a while. It's kind of inadequate in that role, but it's been doing me well. Hold on. I got this at a thrift store. It's just a big, like, full around kind of graphic tee, all black and white. But because it wraps around the whole front of the shirt, it has a nice texture that works with a lot of other stuff, you know? Like, you can imagine wearing this under, like, the blue denim chore jacket that I have. Gives, like, this sort of, you have a flat blue jacket, but then this, like, nice, complicated, sort of maximalist design. Underneath, which I like a lot, you know? Unfortunately, this shirt's a bit small on me. It's a large, and it runs small for a large. I was thinking of maybe finding the brand and seeing if I could get an XL version of it. But this is what I mean, again, by an accent piece. Like, on its own, you don't want to start buying a new shirt by, like, you know, like, oh, time to find this or whatever. But you would have to, like, you know, build around it, kind of. Name the brand? I don't know. I don't even know if it says. S. Gilray? Is that a brand? No, S. Gilray is the one who made the painting. Okay, so it's a painting by a painter called... Wait, is it? James Gilray? Huh, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't really know. Wouldn't it say on the inside of the neck? Yeah, I checked there first, guys. Like I said, I got this from a thrift store. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of a mystery. If anyone can find out what brand this is, by the way, I would appreciate you telling me. What if you found a one of a kind shirt? It's not impossible, but I don't think it's one of a kind. It doesn't feel like it's printed. Yeah, Art Deco shirts like this. Chamonix House White Heavyweight tee. Oh, that's really cute. Thought Cabinet Disco Elysium. Oh, shit. This is a Disco Elysium shirt. That looks really nice. Shame it's all polyester. It probably also doesn't offer it anymore because Disco Elysium exploded. That looks really good, though. Thought Cabinet full color. This could be a pretty good accent piece. I don't know if I would want to buy a full polyester t-shirt because I don't necessarily like how that fits. However, wearing something like this, like, again, this is like maximalism. You would wear this and a, like, simple jacket over it, you know? Like, I wouldn't wear this over it, or because this has, like, a pattern, you know? It would be like this with something over it, and then it's, like, a fucking nightmare mess, you know? Dude, holy shit. Bipolar Bear Z. Found it. You found it. Wait, this is designer? 70 euros? I got it for 12. Thrift shopping, baby. How did you find it? Google Lens? Oh shit, yeah, I guess they'll do that. I might get this in an XL. Well, for 70? I don't know. It's a pretty nice shirt. You won't find many of these around. All right. Okay. I think I've enjoyed this a lot more than I expected to. You know? I'm feeling really positive about I guess the energy in chat right now. So that's nice. I think I've gotten this out of my system, and I don't think I'll be talking about it much more in future streams. A lot of the talking about it that I've done is because I guess I was looking for a way to express this, or sort of looking for advice to be imparted upon me by other people in chat. But I feel like at this point I know enough about it that I don't feel that need. So it'll be a little bit more minimal in the future. Don't worry, guys. If I get any nice pieces in the future, like say any Versace sneakers, I'll be sure to let you know. I'm going to go lay down and uncrick my neck. I keep forgetting that I'm wearing a suit jacket right now, so I try to like lift my shoulders forward or whatever. Are you going to drop a drippy new shirt? Maybe. Maybe. All right. I do like maximalist t-shirt shirts, or t-shirt patterns quite a bit. Okay, I'm going to head off. I'm going to send you guys over to Shark and Canoe. You know what? I said Shark first. Fair is fair. I'm going to send you guys over to Shark. Go be nice. I love you guys very much. I'm going to go lay down for a bit. Thank you again. Take care. I'll read the donos tomorrow.